get ya.
I'ma kick back when you fake like that. Head out of the game, I don't play that fact. Won't you let me go? No, you never come back. I'ma be the best that you never had. I'ma kick back when you fake like that. Head out of the game, I don't play that fact. Won't you let me go? No, you never come back. I'ma be the best that you never had.
Get ya. Always first at the finish line. First to the plate when it's dinner time. First to escape when this shit goes down and these motherfucking clouds finna finish mine. Flow too real, hit 'em with a rhythm rhyme. 10 songs, this is cold in the winter time. I'm a boss, yeah, you know, then I'm finna shine. Always first at the finish line. At the finish line. Always first at the finish line. At the finish line. First to the plate. At the finish line. First to the plate when it's dinner time. First to escape when this shit goes. At the finish line.
Two different levels, I cannot relate. You never win if you playing it safe. It's all a game until you get played. You speaking so loud with nothing to say. Hey, I'm betting it down on me. And they said they ride for me. And they talk so bad on me. I know there's no friends in this bitch. why I keep my family close. Put in work and secure the bag and then take it back to my foes.
It's been a cold, cold summer. Ice in my veins, but you know I'm about to warm up. Yeah, it's been a cold, cold summer. Ice in my veins, but you know I'm about to warm up.
Time will only tell. You can try me if you want. Life it get real crazy. You can try me if you want. We gon' find out soon. 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 Look, I'm in a solid state, we ain't got the same drive. I know it's hard for you, these moments make me feel alive. Texas speed, built different like a G5. If I'm not the one, you better doubt the 99. Let me get back, look, all I do is win. I got dubs in rotation. You see that I can lead, I should send the location. Okay, find me on the hill, yeah, no miseducation. I never lost one, yeah, cut that dedication.
It's been a cold, cold summer. Ice in my veins, but you know I'm about to warm up. Yeah, it's been a cold, cold summer. Ice in my veins, but you know I'm about to warm up.
Time will only tell. You can try me if you want. Life it get real crazy. You can try me if you want. We gon' find out soon. We gon' find out soon. We gon' find out soon.
Never had. I'ma kick back when you fake like that. Head out of the game, I don't play that fact. Won't you let me go? No, you never come back. I'ma be the best that you never had. I'ma kick back when you fake like that. Head out of the game, I don't play that fact. Won't you let me go? No, you never come back. I'ma be the best that you never had. I'ma kick back when you fake like that. Head out of the game, I don't play that fact. Won't you let me go? No, you never come back. I'ma be the best that you never had.
I like bang, bang, bang. Gonna get ya.
Bang, bang, bang. I'ma get ya.
I like bang, bang, bang. Gonna get ya.
Yo, how's everyone doing? First and foremost, let me straighten up my camera. I've been doing some stuff I can't talk about due to NDA agreements, but I've been having fun today. That's what I'm going to say. And then I get to go, let's have a look at the lobby. The lobby looks pretty stacked. Hey, we've got PC last chance this weekend, so why not us get in here and let's do some casting for some EU stuff. Obviously, PC has been mental. PAS has been mental. Your neck of the woods, mate. Let's talk PUBG. How has PAS been? How has things been your neck of the woods?
PAS was about what was expected for the teams that made it through. There were a couple of teams that I would have liked to see to make it through. AE, Gunners, Dots, Empire.
Empire, yeah,
those are some
Michael.
teams. Yeah, 100%. Definitely thought Empire was going to make it through, but last chance qualifiers, it looks pretty cut and dry for the 8 teams that are going to make it. The 8 strong teams that have been performing very well. I got my list of people that I think is going to make it through. Gunners, Dots, Empire, Zuri. Like, it's going to be absolutely insane this last chance qualifier, and then the skill level for the finals is just going to be super high because you got Alcacia now in there, you got Team Liquid, you got all these great teams, Bestia, Falcons, obviously. So it's just going to be an absolutely mental last finals for this PAS 5.
You got little one. I've got little one as well in the background, so apologies, guys. PAS was good. I watched quite a bit of it. Roth just leading the charge is insane. Obviously, Falcons expected. Empire thought would have got through, but they really didn't sort of pack a punch early doors. So I was a bit shocked by them. And then obviously let's talk PEC side. I don't know how much you watched it, but we obviously can talk about because I know the viewership's definitely watched as well. Obviously this is really predominantly stacked with people that are in the lower qualifiers or the last chance, aka 1 second. It's more about getting the reps in, and our groups, we actually had a lower threshold than PAS, and part and parcel of that was because the share of points was huge. Now the myth of and the production team, I want to give a big shout out. I don't think anyone in the production team should be watching, but the production team for Blast for PUBG, insane, really cool guys. So they were taking the mick out of me because I got 50% of my 50% of what I was saying right. The other 50% was wrong, so they clowned me off. Secure Sensor was one of the teams that didn't go through that I thought would go through, but they didn't. But the Myth-Off did. So, guys, we have some teams in this evening that have qualified already for the finals. They've sort of punched their ticket, done really, really well. FaZe, massive point to prove. Obviously, they're not a global partner team anymore, so they're now a regional partner team. And actually, that being said, they did come out with a bang. They played pretty well throughout the whole of the group stages. VP done the same, played well. GK doing well. BB fell short. I'm a bit gutted by them. They were really, really close. Ascended, couldn't get into gear on that second day they had. And it just all drove the points down. I think part of it, if those remember watching back, Don't Panic actually winning the first game on the last day, mate. They took 10 kills plus 10 placement points. So they took up 20 points. Actually, a BB team, if they had half of that, they would have qualified through. Like basically, not even half that, even less than that. So I felt like our lobbies were really close. Again, I am slightly biased, so I do say we have a high caliber of PUBG players, and we do have more people in that kind of mid to high tier range compared to NA, just on the player base size. But it really did show. It really did show. Do you think anyone on your side is going to drop out very quickly? Because we're about to start. Do you think anyone on your side is not going to make it that you'll be shocked about?
That I'd be shocked about. I think personally, I am gonna go with Gooners. They're like that 50-50 for me. Like they could either come in really strong, or it could just absolutely like just fumble, just as like in groups where they just did not perform as they did throughout the rest of PA. I'm gonna say Gooners. Be a big shocker if they don't make it.
I can see you've turned your noise gate on slightly. You can turn it down. Don't worry. It's okay. We're not worried about little one in the background. This is going to be super chill today, guys. We're going to cover the scrims. We've got best of 6 this evening. We are going to be kicking things off in a wrangle. And I said the team is pretty much stacked up. Let's get ourselves over to the game more importantly. I said it's going to be a wrangle. It's game number 1. It's coming up. Here we go. It's game number 1. Wrangle, northeast down towards the southwest through the heart and the soul of the greeny pastures, which is Wrangle. I quite like this map. I do like ending this map today. We're going to be started on it. So the pacing will be high. Now, don't forget, guys and girls, this is Scrims and things do play out differently. That's fact. But as a caster and someone that's been obviously on the main desk for PEC, I can give you kind of insights. I use these to look at how teams are moving. Now, there's going to be some teams that are going to be trying things. TMO are going to be trying things today because they've got, not this weekend, they're not back into the weekend after. So they've got 2 weeks of dabbling, changing how they play, changing how they look, how they feel. Other teams might be looking to try and secure new spots. FaZe obviously going out very early here. This is the biggest thing for me. They've gone out really, really wide, really early to the north. They would normally play down to kind of the Milta. So, like, normally they'd expect them to go for a jump, get the cars, and rotate to Milta. This time they're like maybe pushing towards that Zark era. These are all like little things that I'm looking for. Trying to figure out exactly who's changing up, who's doing what, where people are dropping. Ascend coming late. They've gone back to Morse. They were going to be challenged against TMO for Ferry Pier in group stage for us. So, I enjoy scrims. I'll tell you what, let me ask you a quick question. How good is it to have Team Liquid back? I'm not going to lie. Like, I'm jealous that you guys have got them. I'm jealous. I'm not going to lie. But I like it that they're back.
Yeah, as soon as I saw that TSM was dropping their roster, even though they had an absolutely banger year, I'm like, okay, well, there's only so many different teams possibly pick them up. And I was like, from the get-go, I'm like, I think Team Liquid's making an appearance back into this, and sure enough, they came back and they picked up a banger squad. So I'm very happy to see them back. I'm very happy to see a lot more higher tier teams, a lot more orgs coming back to the NA region, because for a while it was getting a little rough. You know, we just had really TSM and Falcons. That was really about it for a good bit there.
You got to think, right? Did they perform Team Liquid as high as I thought they might have done in PS? No. I thought they might have been a slightly higher, I'll be honest. But one, it's good to have them back. And let's just say Team Liquid, aka TSM, right? Last year, mate, they pretty much got to every single land, right? They, by hook, by crook, they fought their way, blood, sweat, and tears, and qualified. And they looked good while they did it. I think for Team Liquid, yes, they haven't got global partner. That kind of makes sense to me against the other teams and the other orgs that have been putting in the shift. Team Liquid have left PUBG. Kind of makes sense. They're a regional partner team. You got to back that team to get through and qualify, right?
Oh, 100%. I don't think anyone for a second thought that Team Liquid was not going to make it through to the finals in this PAS. I think if anyone counted them out, it would have been a bit of a miscalculation on their part, just because of how strong they were. Like, I mean, it's the exact same roster for TSM. You know, they just changed orgs. So, and to see how well they've been playing together in all of the, like, even in the international lands, you know, the global lands, it was like they were still performing at a very high level. So to say that they wouldn't make it through regionals would be a bit of a laughable statement.
Yeah, I agree. I expect them to go up there. Obviously, we're looking for the 3 plus the 2 in the EU, 3 plus the obviously you're actually down slot. So I'm looking forward to LAN this year. I hope they bring back crowds. Personally, I can't see them doing it for the first 2, if I'm honest with you, based upon obviously where the rumors are it's going. I actually think it's been confirmed out. I think the location's been exactly confirmed. The game's flashing for me, which I find really weird. Like, is it flashing for you? Do you keep a little black flash coming up, or is that just a me thing?
I think that might just be you. I'm not seeing it, at least for the VMix. So
okay, that's definitely me.
I do agree. Yeah, I share the sentiment. I really hope they bring back crowds for the PGSs, because I was actually planning to make a trip over to PGS 4, and then they said, hey, no crowd. Are we serious right now? I'm like, I was ready to go there too.
I was the Bangkok one. I was in Thailand at the time, and they weren't doing crowds. I was like, no, like I'm here. Like
No.
I even convinced it with the wife. Like, I'm just gonna what's it called? I'm just gonna get a flight up, because I was in South Thailand. I was gonna get a flight up and then come back, and then like give me 2 days, like, and shit. And it was like, nah. Nope. And you know what? Fair play. Like, actually, big shout out to Gunner. Gunner was like, I just put you on the Sonics roster, obviously, at the time. I put you on the Sonics thing, so just get here and we'll make sure you get in. But I just want to experience the LAN. I want to experience like the grenade going off, like that sound. That's what I really want to. I think that would be huge and a big difference. And that ideally, obviously, what I'm looking for. Navi, they get the first knock and kill is Exhalation. Moving on by, do get caught on that rotation. The team obviously does need to qualify. The other big I think I really want to watch is Grove Street at the moment. They are in a spot that they could qualify based upon their open quals. Based on group stages, these guys are falling short. They're going to fall. They really need to change things up. So they're one for me to definitely watch. Same as Digger. Digger, I know they were unable to do the last game in PEC. But Digger Esports, like, they just struggled. I think they put on 12 points in 12 games, like a point a game. Like, it needs to.
Yeah,
it's not good. It's not good, is it?
No. That's definitely not the showing that you want to put out going into the group stage after you struggled and fought through. How many rounds did
best of 12
EEC have? Did you guys have
exactly the same? Exactly the same. We've got exactly the same format for PAS and PEC for us.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, like after grinding that, I don't think that's the showing that they were expecting to put up. But like looking at this lobby, it definitely it's not something you could really beat yourself too hard about. Just because of how many strong teams you have sitting in this lobby. Like BB team didn't make it through. And that's a big shocker, honestly. That is not a team I was not expecting to make through to the finals off of the group stage. So I think you just, hunker down, you come through, and you double down, and you put in a good showing for the LCQ. And I think that they could probably make a good comeback here.
Yeah, this is the team that I backed. This is my outside bet. TMO done well. They qualified. They were on 77 points, and arguably, if we was to follow the same trend of PEC last year, so PEC 2024, they wouldn't have qualified. But it comes down to, again, and I don't want to sing the hymn sheet of the EMEA. Everyone knows I do. But because teams like Don't Panic hoovered up so many points, like, it actually forced that mid-pack to really, really tighten down. And as a result, that means that 77, but I think we cut off 76 and I need to double check. The cutoff was a lot lower than we ever expected. The average cutoff we have is 81 points for PEC, so it's been the lowest it has been for a long time.
And I think that was actually I think PAS was the highest we've had in a long time. I think round of 32, the cutoff point was like 80 points for top 8 or above, which was absolutely insane to have to try to fight to get into that. But
that's good.
Just insane.
But that also speaks to I don't want to sound bad, but it also speaks to NASA leveling up in my eyes. Like, it looks like the region, that mid pack we always talk about. Like, it's just getting better, mate. It's just getting better. And if it continues that way, like, don't get me wrong, NA on LAN, people, contenders all day long, right? It's just when we come to scrims and actually the amount of people playing, there are more people in our region, in the EMEA region, than there is the NASA. Well, SA is actually a huge region, to be fair. Wait and see. My screen is flashing loads. I don't know why. Obviously, you're not getting it though. AC takes the initial shot, so Blue Star goes for the C-swap, puts him over. And it looks like Vard eventually getting that knocked down. Who does actually fall as well. As he gets crashed. Look at this. FaZe though. They are also backfilling. I don't think they've actually seen FaZe put up here. This could be dangerous. Naturally, this is where you move across to. FaZe has moved up as well. Initial shots will come in from the fast. Does get knocked from the fast, but FaZe Clan, they're coming on the third party, and I actually think they've got away. Actually, scrap that. They've not got away with it now. Correx has used the cast to go further around, so definitely there's some sound cues now. Ain't underneath the foothold of FaZe. Fast getting opportunity now to get those reses back on, but it's pretty dangerous. And a huge storm of big names coming down this west side.
If you're food tier, I think that was maybe a bit of a misplay by I can't even see the name of that. Axa.
Who are we looking? Aintsy. Aintsy is on the left hand side.
Aintsy. I think he made like a last second decision to pull off of recrashing the compound to try to maybe secure a flush or secure a couple more knocks on the compound, and he peeled off to go to the rocks to try to stop FaZe, and he just caught himself right in between both teams. He caught himself right in between Fast and FaZe, and that kind of just got him the insta knocked in because he got shot in the back, he got shot in the front, and his positioning just was not the best for that pull up.
Yeah.
And Fast looking like they might be able to get the res off onto God.
Yep.
As they're gonna get a good smoke wall coming through, but no, it's gonna be Gustav that spots him in the smoke. Made that half step crawl just a second too soon before the smoke fully bloomed. He's gonna get flushed out, and now Fast is down 2-2.
Yeah, I don't know if Ainsley actually saw him, actually saw FaZe coming. I'm not sure. I think it's going to be close. I do think it's going to be close, 100%. Don't shift though further down, but he has put himself in a bad position. BB go in between. Tunnel Fire do take the initial shots. GK do get the knock though on Code Marco. He is down. They're going to try and hold out as they fortify themselves now across on this road. A lot of teams now need to move in. The Tunnel Fire in such a bad spot. Diffix looking to try and find those last couple of shots. Doesn't quite get the connections. The smoke starts to bloom. And then Voxrock, welcome back to the party. And it looks like all these teams are just stacking up across the line. Vox does get him. I don't think they can do much more, though, from here. I don't really think they can see. Can he see him? Can just about get a few more attacks.
I think if they maybe push up a little bit more, they might be able to secure the secondary knock onto Spyro. But if they do that, then they do risk, having to take the fight over towards the people into Ferry Pier. But we got another fight busting out between Grove Street and BB as Besto is going to go down. Now Moloduct is also going to go down, and now is just one member of BB Bet Boom sitting up. I keep wanting to say Bing Bing, but
Bing Bing.
as Bing
I think
Bing,
he's
as
sick.
they're all getting followed, and it's just a doozy. Last member up. He's the UAV flying around. Just watched his teammates just get absolutely decimated on the pull up onto Grove Street, and now he's gonna have to go play his own life. You know, I almost forgot we have redeploy shoots, and I thought he just, I thought he just said, you know what, I'm done with this scrim match.
Okay, right.
He's gonna get down.
Round 1 is out.
He said, "Yeah, we're done with this match. I'd rather go TDM or do some pub hot drops while we wait for the next game 2 to start."
Absolutely love it. Grove Street have the whole Voxbox do full. First team to go. FaZe moving further down. Footy Sports now positioning themselves in towards zone. As Fast will take that EP. Let's get in towards the rest of the madness. Well, is Bushido falling? Ascend. This is that drop spot, Ascend. Or historically, this is that old drop spot. They actually now start playing in certain different areas. But obviously, they're going to be well rehearsed here. The zone pulls back their way. They're looking good. Killer Kai sees. Oh my god, the fire rate on the mini nearly puts him down, but doesn't get the connection the 6 times.
That was, I don't think I've seen many people spam a mini as fast as he just did. That was absolutely insane. I thought he was about to maybe secure 2 there for himself, but they do need to be very careful as zone's about to start restricting, and it doesn't have to pull off of the water yet, but look, like over, I say almost 55% of the zone is almost sitting in all water, so you know that once that phase 4 hits, it's going to have to hard shift back up to the north, maybe to the north, the northwest over towards the Westpac roads, the West Roads compounds. So all these teams are, if they're gonna make a play here, then they're gonna have to do something very quickly. I do like what FaZe is doing. They have a lot of control into the middle of zone, also into the western side of zone. So if it does hard shift, they can always just fall back to Gustav and they can just play off of them. But no, my gosh, it's gonna be a Primorsk ending. It's going to end in Primorsk.
I actually was in 2 minds. Is it going northwest? Is it going northeast? I was thinking it was going win or die. I thought it was gonna hit that northeast side. You know, kind of like shack on top of the hill. I thought, do you know what? That might be a shout. FaZe still do have an element of control. They can hold that sort of bowl side, but we are looking Primorsk. For these spots have already sent it in. Ascend held the gate on the way in. And Exhalation now going to play back. They moved to the north because they expected to go higher north, right? But with that, so much that south shift, it doesn't have an impact really. Oh, PWD, aka Alexa. He's going to put down the first shots. There Goal takes Jedrock. So looking to reposition the M4 in hand. Though looking for the other players from Win or Die as they try to put themselves on top of the bowl. But it's not going to be able to get the connection just yet. More information gained. I think this might be the safest way now in towards the zone. As the rest of these teams having to drive fire. But there's not many entry points for teams. And I do question where Eternal Fire might try and look to turn. Shots will come in. Get a few shots in the back. They're over the hill, not too far away. And the Skidakai might try and get the shots. He goes for one, looks for the second, but doesn't quite get the connection.
Absolutely insane headshot that he managed to hit onto the drive up from Eternal Finder. He was able to find one. Now the Mad going to get taken down. Only 1 member up, and it's just down to that final member to try to make something happen here. Flush is going to come out. You got to respect him for the full send, but at the same time, I think it might have been a little too early of a full send. Maybe if you're, committed to the edge play, you just have to try to fight and hold edge as long as you can. But now they are down to just a single member. All of the EPs coming in. You got Virtus Pro that made it EP all the way into here. You had there was one other. I think it was a TMO. No, TMO didn't make it.
TMO did. No, you're right. No, TMO flew in. Okay.
Yeah, TMO EP. Like I think EP. If you don't have an EP, I think you just have to try to play the hills, try to play the edge of zone. Ascend in the middle of all this is going to get eliminated, and it's absolutely it's a very risky rotate into this zone, especially with how many teams are fighting. Leosh going to he runs out of bullets. Crossberg going to clutch it up for Win or Die. Or sorry, not for Win or Die, for Eternal Fire. Win or Die going to get eliminated, and now it is just Crossberg, the last one up. He's going to try to hold out as many as he can inside of that 3-stack, but he does have a very good position here because, it's going to center up into the middle of the city, so he is sitting in a very good spot to try to hold and just maybe survive. Maybe people forget about him as he goes and just tries to make a play for his team, but with as many teams are sitting in that city, I think it's extremely unlikely.
This is hard. This is really hard. Navi's losing numbers now. So said final 2 have to work their way in. Grossi, as I mentioned before, a team which I think needs to be a bit stronger. In qualifiers, they're really, really strong, aggressive. They kind of controlled zone, shared dominance around areas. They really pushed out the boundaries of where they're playing. When it came down to group stages, just not the case. It didn't really work out for them. I'm going to try and catch some of this rotations in because I'm not going to get more, I'll be honest with you. They just need to reset. Well, I suppose group stages come with an additional stress level, I'd expect, right? It's not as easy as, yes, Mark, just continue playing as qualifications were, but good push actually. They were stadium coming their way down. Yes, stay low. Spyro's going to get that one. Does get it. No head. Be a nice clean sweep. Na'Vi taking 13th place. I just would like Grove Street to reset and just kind of show us what they've got when it comes down to kind of lower chance qualifiers, because if you fail once, you get to fail twice in PAS and PEC. If you fail one more time, unfortunately, you're out.
And it would be it. And I think that's a very good statement from you, is the fact that, you know, when you're going through the qualifiers, you see the point breakdown, you see where you're sitting, and you know what you have to do. And it's a little bit more hectic because, you know, depending on what group you're in, you do have that day break in between, and other teams could just absolutely pass you. And then if you're like that last group that plays on the last day, and you had that day break, then you got to like try to regain that momentum if you did have a good day and try to move forward from there. And it is a lot more, I would say, a lot more stressful. But now going back into the LCQ, you know, it's just you, it's just the other 17 teams, and it's just what you can perform and what you can bring out. And it's going to be absolutely hectic. Can't wait to see which teams make it through to the finals and where it's going to stand. And I love them. You know, they made an absolutely massive showing in the last day of round of 16 forever. But at the same time, like, I don't know if, like, kudos to them for making it, but I think a different team that would have had a much better showing into groups probably would have been the better play to make it, other than them, because as you can see, like, you know, it's a level of competition that they're just not quite ready for, and they're just absolutely getting rolled throughout it. So I think I definitely would have liked to see one of the other teams around 16 make it into the group stages, just to add that extra level of intensity and chaos to the mix.
Always is chaos, mate. Always is chaos for the top 8. FaZe, I still think FaZe are in a really winning position here at the moment. They don't need to rush coming in. They just need to stop anyone backfilling. They've defended off the EPs. Digger having to send forward now, knowing the zone's going to shift in 27 seconds for them. I still think it could shift back their way. A little bit of a catch-up here between Geek. I think they're doing the same as FaZe, but on the other side. Just now going to try and hold out. Baz going to take a few. Diffix is down. He's moving pretty quickly as Quizzy is looking to try and go for that res as quickly as he can. He's got the ridge cover to do it. He does go for it now. It's going to be down to Spyro just to make sure there's no more pressure. A bit of a head-to-head battle here between these two teams, or three teams, shall I say. Great nade, and Baz somehow able to decide. This is the problem, though, for that team in front. Digger, obviously one player left alive in this location. Everyone's going for a full send. We've got the Primorski, and this is rare, guys, as well. Primorski's rare as hell. But he can be a real thorn. If I was this player here, if I was Crossdown, I'd be like, do you know what? I just need to try and get as many kills and confirm as I can, as quick as I can, because I'm not going to make it out from here. Unlucky for him, he had to steal away from him, but just continue grinding this one down.
Yep, and he got one stolen from him, and now he's going to come back and say, you know what, I'm getting my kill back. He's going to go for the shot. He's going to get a nice little headshot to wipe A7FA from the map, and now GK looks like they're going to try to turn their attentions, maybe try to cut him off from being able to rotate further in, maybe play off of the dips off of that dirt road. And this is what I was talking about, like the teams that are playing Edge, these are the teams that probably made the better decision besides just full sending it into Primorsk in a vehicle rotate. Like, as you saw, we had... Eternal Fire do a full rotate, and they had 3 alive. They could have probably played Edge and done some fights, maybe try to get some more KP, play for that in the long game from there. But they didn't. They went for a full crash, and they managed to just only get 1 into the city, and all these other teams are just, look, they're soaking up a lot of kill points onto the Edge,
13.
and like 13 for GK, and it's just absolutely insane. And now they have the entire northern side, almost the northeastern side of the zone to just play on that side of the road, and they can probably move into the hills onto the other side of the road of Primorsk, just into the northeast. So I think playing the Edge was probably the better play if you didn't have that E pickup to rotate into the zone.
There's a couple of things to mention as well, guys. We're on the live server, so we're not on the same patch that the players we play when it comes down to lower qualifiers and the finals. We're on the patch before that. So just obviously keep that in mind. There's some nuances around this one, different gun changes, obviously, and obviously all the crazy 8th anniversary stuff. But happy birthday, PUBG. So just be wary of that when you're kind of looking, refining, taking notes, especially if you're looking to make the calls like I do when it comes down to who's going to be making it, who's not going to be making it. It's definitely a factor, 100% a factor in the final decision. Talk about a factor. Well, we're eventually losing the water now. I think you are right, mate. I definitely feel like the outside teams have the better control at the moment. If it goes for a full send in, if I bring up the mini map there, where does it go? How far in goes? I think GK's positioned themselves to try and claim as much terrain as they physically can before having to go in. But they need to be careful. Like, Spyro can't get knocked here, Quizzy can't get knocked, etc. Like, PWD can't get knocked. They need to try and hold out. And hopefully they might get another zone, unlike FaZe, who's now had to kind of send it in.
Yeah, and I think they definitely need to play with their lives here. I think they just wait for a lot of these teams to self-destruct because you go for a peek onto one building, you have 19 other buildings with 19 other players just staring at you, and it's just I think it's too risky because even if you get a knock, you're not guaranteeing yourself a flush here. And you're just wasting ammo, you're wasting meds and resources, you're wasting armor. And I think if you're GK, I think just holding out and waiting for the bike rotates to come into play to take shots onto that guy as he just made a free rotate across almost the entire opening of Primoris. Kudos to him. VP do have a P90 though, so that's going to make that CQC fighting with inside of Primoris versus all these other teams going to be very difficult for them. GK did get forced out of the zone, a bit of a hard west shift. I think they could probably try to play off to the right and rotate into DJ over here and probably take his positioning if they can clear him fast enough. But it's going to be a rough rotate, to say the least, to try to take this fight.
Yeah, you're right. Look, it's not really favoured GK here. GK have to move around, and this is the right play for them. They know there's a body here. They're taking shots, so they're going to try and make the play. Here comes the stack up. He's going to try and launch his way forward, though. Flash goes off, does catch him. He's not going to be able to capitalise because he's in the solo, looking to try and swing his way around. Doesn't quite see the players that are close to hear him. Spyro takes a few shots, but Spyro sticks deep. And we'll pick up Digger. He's down. Nidix too far away. DK for me are clearing teams at the moment. Crazy amounts of points. It is insane.
It's not 14, and they. Oh.
No, go. You talk. Someone figured out what a command for the cast was like. It's not FedEx, that one. I saw that.
Yeah, 14 kills is absolutely insane. Like I said, they played it smart, playing edge and just going for control from there and just wiping all the teams and stealing flushes and everything. But they have a bigger task in front of them. As now they're on the edge of the zone. Zone's about to close. They got a minute left, and they have to try to figure out what they're gonna do. Looks like TMO is taking a fight into VP, and now TMO is also taking a knock from GK. So GK looking to try to see if they can make maybe an entrance and maybe try to get inside of Primoris, give zone hard shifts out of their favor. So their job isn't quite done yet. And there are just so many teams sitting inside of all of these buildings. It's just absolutely and if they're not moving, if they're not making much noise or presence, it's hard to know where your safe line rotates in or pushes it are in. Even if you get one knocked, it could be someone just sitting full AFK. AE Crossbark still sitting here, has not moved from his 3-stack, hasn't had to move from his 3-stack, and he's just full safe. He's been here since the second zone shift, and it's just some of these teams are going to get favored in that place, in that area where they don't have to really move, and other teams, AEGK, are going to have to try to fight their way into zone. So, if they can, that's going to be a lot of kill points for them to come into this first match.
There will be a lot of kill points. FaZe moving forward, gets caught. VP centralizing up here. Footstool got one alive, so has Fast. Obviously, 2 for Exhalation, 1 for Eternal Fire. Geek obviously just sort of ping-balling their way around the zone at the moment. It's going to shift again. A final time. As it will move further down towards the south. This is going to be difficult. Geek now have to kind of fight in the trenches. 14 kills, top 8 at the moment, but we're FaZe number 7, mate. With 8 teams still remain, they're on 15 points for Geek. They've got 1 additional placement point, right? But after that, difficult. Really, really difficult now because they've got to work their way through. Look at the vest here from Quizzy. It's gone. His helmet is really, really strong. They've already down Diffix. They've got 3 strong. Let's have a look at the others. And not too bad. PWD, who is Lex the Cyber Sport. Not in a bad position. Vest pretty good. His helmet is really well held up. It's down towards the amount of util that these guys have got. If I do that button, there we go. Not a bad amount of smokes. They could potentially smoke line in. The question is which way. Do you maybe go around and try and backfoot at the bottom? Do you try and smoke wall ahead? There's a lot of options for them. What I do know is TMO looking to try and maybe bring back Needix. They do position themselves back on that south side. That should give them a lot of information. Geeko, go, hold on. That car's just moved from one side. Maybe there's an opening in front. We can see PWD already making the move now as they're looking to try and close their one in. And talk about closing in, they get the first initial knock here. And TMO, well, they're on the back burner. Scrap that. They're now on the front foot with 2 knocked down. Quizzy's the final player. And as I said before, he's the man without the vest.
Yeah, his health is very low. He's taking a lot of blue damage here, and he is now taking down to about half HP, and now he has all of TMO just hard staring at him, but it's going to be VP. They're going to find the last member of GK and eliminate them. And it was Nedex with the absolutely sick play there. Like, he waited till the absolute right moment to activate. They had no idea he was still sitting in that shack, and he was able to just help put firing down onto him and just absolutely ruin GK's plan until to rotate in. Will Justice be able to get the res here? It's going to be very questionable.
Yeah,
he will be able to get the res. He's going to LOS him from the building, so they're going to be able to get back up to 4 strong. And they have a pretty good position in the zone. No, they don't actually. They're like on the far northeast.
I thought he was going to jump there and go for it. He's outside the zone. Yeah, Ninix, he's not gone over. I thought Spaceman, aka Fex, I thought he was going to take him. Ninix making the call, saying that actually I'm unresable here. It does lay low. Really good play. Justice comes out and knows that he's in danger from that line of sight there from FaZe. This is the danger now. The dot is going to be drawn straight after this. Donuts up. FaZe in such a good position. Fasting to figure out how they get in, but got a corner in that southeast corner. Footer in. Eternal Fire. Exhalation need to work their way through VP, and so does TMO. I think for me, VP needs to decide which way they focus in on, because they're going to receive a lot of movement from these players. They might be solos. If they all run at the same time, it'd be very difficult to try and pick them all out.
Well, they make very quick work of Crossberg. One good nade is going to eliminate Eternal Fire in 7th place. They know that they have Exhalation still sitting towards their hard east. I think if I'm VP, I try to, do the best that you can of holding out TMO, but I do think you need to try to force your way into a fight either one way or another. If you try to hold on to, holding off multiple teams, you're bound to take a couple of losses, and it's not really going to set you up for endgame too well, as they do have Exhalation rotating into their path, and then after they clear their hard east, they have all the east to work with, but they are still in zone, so they don't really have to move anywhere. They could just wait to see what these other teams do as zone forces them in.
This is all about TMO blocking off line of sight, using the smokes. Well, great nade. Nixie bags 1. Beamy goes for the other. 2 for the price of 1. And they clear one side. They can now refocus back on, though. It's going to be down to... I'm going to make the assumption this is Ibby. As there's no Arthur Shelby in here, but rolling like NBA sounds like an Ibby thing, because he's like the world's tallest PUBG player. I wonder who is the world's tallest PUBG player. He's got to be up there, surely. Oh, he tried. He did try, but it didn't quite catch the Exhalation player, but he's got a good idea where he is. He's just about inside zone.
He's holding on with he's hanging from a cliff, and never mind, now he's gone. I was about to say he's hanging from a cliff with a spaghetti noodle, and that spaghetti noodle just broke. Exhalation gone in 5th place. Now this is FaZe's clan, FaZe's game to win. They have the positioning. They are set up really well to hold off VP from the dot. But Corexi going to get found out by Fast. The backstab from the guy just absolutely holding on since phase 1. Just a little snake in the grass is going to backstab and is going to find and take them just before he gets taken out. And now they have full information on where Skirt is from FUT, as he took some shots to try to steal or not get the flush, but now it's just a fight between FaZe and VP, as they're going to try to force each other, try to push into one another. P90 in the hand of rolling like NBA, and that could be the deciding factor between the fight. Like, that thing is just an absolute laser beam. It's absolutely broken with how quick it can just absolutely melt 3 armor.
Yeah, there goes that final dot. Phase number 9 now working away, and Footy Sports having to make the push forward. 3 kills for them, 2 coffees coming from the final player now from them. Now looking to catch one. BB goes down, looking for the second. Catch Nixie, but doesn't quite get the damage. Now we'll follow up with the nade. FaZe right pretty much on the dot as they will try and control the entry point, but it doesn't have the entry point for the nade. Does fall short. Second one comes out from Gustav, though, and gets some damage down to Nixie ones. And here come the additional util dump. Now, Blue Zone nades could be huge. They've got more to play around as everyone will now dance the dance. Ibi has to dance the dance right in the middle. P90, I think you're right, is going to have a bigger factor in this than we think. Hopefully, we're not going to have a med off and the teams will push it. But at the moment, it's 3 versus 1. But a solo can feel like 21. Here goes the big push. He catches him. He throws out. He runs his way back. He knows the nade is there. He gets clear. Nixie picks up the shotgun, though, as they are going full sends on the adjacent side. He does actually pick up. Oh no, FaZe are falling apart. Final one remains. It's on the outside. James looking good and VP unshifted.
They VP just they absolutely took the fight as fast as they could. You know, you have a P90 and 3 gear in your arsenal. You're not too worried about taking a 1v1 versus somebody. FaZe kind of put all their eggs in one basket for having one of their members try to hold out the other team from the other building. Didn't really have much support to hold from.
Oh my God.
But now it's just going to be Skur. He's getting active. He's going to find the knock onto EB as he is going to try to push up into the smokes, but it's going to be back to Bolt. He's going to find the last member of Foot, and he's going to get the knock, and it's going to be a spray, but he's not able to make a connect as EB is going to flick and put down the last member of FaZe, giving VP the win.
VP taking the win, but not actually on the rest of the leaderboard. Kills, damage, and assists. Well, they're all going towards Geeky. Pretty strong game, let's be honest with you, on that one. Interesting ending. Primorska City ending. We don't get them all the time. So much water plays. Phase 1 to 3, no problems. We know that Phase 4 shift, but Phase 4 even held so much in. At that point, I really like two teams for me. Phase held out that sort of west side really, really well. And Geeky, they obviously came in that northeast corner. They hoovered up a lot of the kills, and that's kind of where we see the points. Lucky for them, they eventually lost the zone, whereas actually before we saw FaZe push in. So Geeky falling short based upon PUBG, but they done well. They done well. 2K, 2-3 on damage. That is an insane game number 1. If you didn't need craziness from Scrims, just PUBG, throw a crazy zone in like that.
Absolutely insane zone. And I think if you're Geeky, I think that they're very happy with how they ended up playing that. I don't think they expected them to get anywhere near placement points with how they had to fight the edge as hard as they did. So picking up a 7th place placement point, 1 placement point plus 15 kills, I think you're very happy if you're them. FaZe, they were the team to win it. I think if they maybe send one more person to hold with Gustav inside that, and they take the 2v1 versus the P90, it might have been a bit of a different story, but they kind of put all their eggs in one basket to hold off that north push from VP, and they capitalized on it for sure.
Yeah, it's difficult, isn't it, with these type of endings? Like how and when do you prioritize? Who do you prioritize first? I think the expectations of VP's more of a danger and more of a threat, so they kind of they all bang to that north side. But taking nothing away from FaZe, they moved in, they scouted, they held, played in. As I said before, FaZe now a regional partner. I feel like there's a point to prove with the guys, and they are looking strong. Another strong game from them. It is only game number 1. We do have another 5 coming up here. We'll be back in the round. We'll take a quick break. We'll see you guys. It'll be round number 2.
Always first at the finish line. First to the plate when it's dinner time. First to escape when this shit goes down and these motherfucking clouds finna finish mine. Flow too real, hit 'em with a rhythm rhyme. 10 songs, this is cold in the winter time. I'm a boss, yeah, you know, then I'm finna shine. Always first at the finish line. At the finish line.
Here we go! Match number 2 of the PUBG EU Scrims. Hi, Mark. And I'm joined by the amazing Heister. It is insane. Game number 1. If you haven't missed it already, it's Primorsk ending. So go on YouTube, give it a rewind, because you don't see a lot of them. They're like as rare as Zaki. Actually, arguably, not as rare as Zaki. Let's be honest, you do get them a few more times. But I felt like I've not seen one in such a long time. This flight path, though, northeast down towards a central south, pushing towards the southwest, is a little bit more centralized for these teams. We'll have to see who goes where, but not a bad flight path again.
Pretty good flight path. A lot of teams, everyone should be able to reach their main drops, whatever drops that they want to try to take for their LCQ. And I don't think we're going to see too many hot drops. Maybe some fights over some vehicles, but other than that, it should be a pretty cut and clean. Everyone land and loot and try to go from there. We do have a bit of a close landing from Win or Die. Looks like they might be trying to take themselves into some vehicles, as well as VP is sitting right on top of them. But okay, Roland's going to get his vehicle. He's going to rotate on out. A lot of people landing close to one another. I know that's always a nerve-wracking thing, is like trying to make sure you watch the parachutes in, see if anyone lands near you or on top of you. And if you miss it, it's just absolutely detrimental when you run past a building. You have no idea someone's there, and you just get absolutely dogged.
It's dangerous. It is dangerous. It's dangerous as taking flight path over the water. Send. Surprised they're not looking to go back, I'll be honest with you. We do have a military. It's Chris, a little bit closer. Diffix is Diffix. I about to say, Diffix got a gun. He would be going for the shot for them. There are some rules around scrims, though, guys. Obviously, military island is slightly different. They can obviously play however they want to play. There'll be fights on the outside edge a lot more quicker. But if it's not a military island, you tend to find there's like rulings around. You don't fight kind of like maybe one square outside of the zone, let people get in if you're hot dropping. There's a prio system in Discord, depends on the rank. If you're a higher rank than the other team, then you can pick the drop spot over them because logic is you're practicing for events. So you have pro teams, which are very obvious, but there are teams that have now got they got an event status with, like, for example, TMO have an event status. So they have a higher ranking than a tier 1 team. Goes pro, event, tier 1. So if TMO say they want Yaz and the tier 1 team wants Yaz, they have to fall aside. They have to give up to them. So you won't see like as many hot drops when it comes down to scrims. And all the logic is to do with everyone wants to have 4 bodies up to fight. Like, get 4 bodies up, get them into zone, and fight as if it was an event.
I guess that might be a bit of a difference between the NA scrim ruling and the EU scrim. So it's like half a square outside of Circle 1. You're allowed. You're not allowed. That's okay. So for us, it's like not if you're outside of Circle 1, you are not allowed to fight whatsoever, unless your line is being contested or someone's driving straight at you, like threatening your game. Then you can defend yourself, obviously. But other than that, that's about it. Might have a bit of a fight between DK and Navi as they're all rotating onto the western side of the bridge, right in front of one another. Navi gonna look like are they opting to try to take this?
I think Navi
Cyber, Lexa.
I think they're gonna try and backfill him. Navi is there.
Okay.
What I don't know is they actually do have a body down here. He's packing up his bike. He hasn't got a helmet, so he's not gonna fight this really.
No.
The other side of things as well is this bridge. If FaZe fight here, this bridge gets shut for business. And that happens on events as well. But we do see people sort of play in for the third party sometimes. So you have to wait and see. Who got the last kill?
It looks like
EMEA got the last kill. I think these guys will just sort of work their way over. No one's in Novo, so there's no closed bridge on the east. So this is more about FaZe getting over and A7 just watching them, I think.
Yeah, A7 definitely watched them rotate in, and looked like A7 got really close to Space Marine as he was making the rotate across, but did not seem like they wanted to take the fight. They just kind of want to backfill and get the information for where they're going and then where they could probably play off of. Because as a team rotates in front of you, if they like just full send past a compound and they don't get shot at by a single person or a single round doesn't get taken or util, then you just have complete knowledge of that whole area is clear. So they're pretty much just giving you the free information that you need for a nice rotate in right behind them. As Navi are making the rotate across the bridge right into GK. They got Diffix and they got NLT as sitting right on top of them. Diffix with the first spray down onto Fair. He's going to find the knock as now it's going to be a seat swap coming in. More shots coming out. Hakatori going to get an absolutely insane knock onto Diffix. And now Hakatori's finding himself in a very difficult spot. Lexi Spyro sitting right behind him, putting some more shots onto him. As Alexa is going to find the flush onto Fayer, and it's going to be Hakatori. He's going to manage to get the rotate on back, and they're going to find the flush onto Diffix, making this a fair 3-on-3 between the two teams.
It is. Diffix down and out. I'm not sure about the new bridge yet. I kind of like it's different, but I feel like it's more open. For now, PWD positions back. So said we'll be seeing Hakatori can be seen through as well. I think this is more about a question. This is the play. Now, he hasn't got a helmet, but potentially GK can sandwich the remaining players now if the timing is done right. Because he gets caught, it's going to be quite dangerous. I think it's going to take some attention, though, from PWD. Because at the moment, the guys from Navi are heavily pushing back.
Yeah, they're just kind of full W key sprinting right towards Queasy. But the only issue is, like, if you scope through the stairwell, you can see if people are pushing you from the other side. And Queasy needs to be very careful because just one bullet to the head and he's going to be knocked. And that's just going to ruin all of GK's plans. There it is. The one bullet to the head. Absolutely putting Queasy right back on down. And now it's just 2 members of GK to try to fight and make a play here. As now Lexa is taking some shots from Ascend, even though Ascend is also in the middle of a fight with Exhalation.
Yeah, they are. It's all third-party central at the moment. Ascend obviously losing bodies. Navi remaining as a 2 now. They have to continue. But it's difficult. It feels like old school old school PUBG bridge camping. I'd definitely in these sort of situations would rather not having the footbridge on the side. I'd rather it be a bit more old school, straight cars over. But miniature islands, they cause for drama, they cause for chaos. We've already lost a bed of players, down to 60 players actually. 17 teams still remain. We do have an additional team. For those that do not know about esports, it's a 16-team lobby normally. So with Scrims, sometimes we get 1, maybe 2 extras, which does also add to some of the chaos that unfolds, especially early games, should we say.
A lot of chaos into the early games. But then on the other side of the coin, you also have those games where, like, you have 9 teams in a very tight area and just all of the action breaks loose at once as every team gets forced out of the zone and they have to try to find a very difficult rotate on in. But it looks like this is going to be the former of that statement. Is you got 3 teams sitting outside. You got Eternal Fire. You got, is that Grove Street on their south side?
Oh, that's Vopdrox there on the south of them, and then obviously we've got Eternal Fire wrapping in behind FaZe on the other side.
That's absolutely insane little 3-piece right here. Neeks, he's going to take a lot of damage from Eternal Fire. Going to force him off of that roof, get him off of that high ground, which is very good for Eternal Fires. They want to try to make the push up. Util flying over, they think he might be on the other side of the roof. He was not. He managed to get back inside, and now they're going to have to try to hold off as all of Eternal Fire is getting active, and now you have FaZe trying to get super close into this third party, try to see if they can't steal some flushes, steal some knocks. Quepta coming in with the flashbang as they're going to go to push in. They're going to find the knock, the Mad. He's going to get taken down by Neeks, as now it's going to be Quepta. He's going to try to fall back to see if he can't hold off his teammate from getting flush as Neeks is wrapping onto the right side of the dirt road. Quepta did see a little bit of him onto the side. Trades of shots coming in from Neeks, and is going to be Quepta. He's going to take the high ground, and he's going to find the last member of Vopdrox. They're going to get eliminated.
Good clean fight. Quepta is strong contender. I wonder if he was flashed. I'm not quite sure. He did peek out. We could see him. Oh, we got supervision. FaZe, nice third party action for them. I think for me, FaZe needs this element of control now on this area. A blind send might turn to a 50-50. Yeah, they've not got the kills, but the control, I think, for this area, I think, is going to be key. We're only FaZe number 1. We've lost 1 team. We're nearing the level of players that will be there. 30 spots, long rotation in for North George. I was close. They could get there. And it looks like Rashido is on the defense as well. Now, they're not coming from the sky. They are coming via vehicle. This could be pretty dangerous for them. Initial shots come through. Clean. A bike was at speed. And the rest of us might need to slow down their pace because they're not sending it the rest of them to Bushido.
I don't know what to make of that play. It looks like he was way too far ahead from the rest of his team. Kind of made a full send. No real scouting coming in from there. So you're just really asking to get kind of taken out here. Maybe they just assumed that this part of the zone is going to be, wow, a 50-50 split. More so in the favor of the Millie Island zone shift. But 50-50, it could go either way back across the water. It could maybe hit hard north back to the Dirty Dozen over towards the docks of Snake Split, or it could easily just center up onto the northern side of Millie Island. It could go literally anywhere. We got Fee. They're coming in for a bit of an EP. They make the spot out for the vehicles rotating. They obviously see the glider flying around. They hear the shots onto the glider. That's going to give them all the information that they need. It looks like they're going to try to get some vehicles. Crossburg, Eternal Fire. He's getting crash landed by Ascend, 4 HP, as they're going to try to go for the 2v1. It's going to be Crosswork. He's going to get knocked by Chris, and it's going to be a quick ending for Eternal Fire as they just have 1 more member up.
Love it. Even gave him the gear. Eternal Fire got 1 more of the adjacent sides here. Ascend using the interesting way to rotate. More of the madness is going to unfold on this east-hand side of the bridge. It is back open for service now. Comes back in. Grove Street will move on by. Abdu will get some initial shots. But Rat Hunter somehow sneaks his way out from this one. CMO got so much area to control, but so many people to fight it within. I do worry about this. Bushido eventually going down. Digger does catch him on the outside. Fast still not coming in. VP on the north side. And the rest of the madness unfolds. Interesting facts, though, for those that didn't check it on Twitter. BB team done the most rotating. They drove the most miles by far of any other team, which is insane. Just kind of screams that they've not made the calls to the zone, and or the zone has just kind of done them dirty, a bit like this game, because they now need to get shifted in somehow.
And that rotate's going to be just a fun one for them to try to make. Exhalation getting their vehicles off of the ferry as they're going to try to rotate in through the south side of Millie, and they're going to nice little caravan going on. But they do need to be careful. They might have a bit of a rotate into BB, as now we have A7. Looks like they might be getting into a fight with Win or Die sitting on the other side of their ridge. They do have a sleeping member of Win or Die. He is just waiting to attack Laosh, or the fight could be the initial factor for A7 getting eliminated very early if they aren't careful with how they decide to approach this. Now, this zone, though, it's going to be interesting to see what happens. A7, they're going to get the first knock on a G-Drox, as now Laosh is going to have to... He was looking to get active into that fight if maybe the fight went a different way for G-Drox, but now they're looking to clear their hill. I don't know if he got spotted out, but now he hears them moving. They hear the audio cue. He's going to try to relocate for a bit of a better hard cover. Flashbang coming out. A7 with a nice little quick flash, and the nade just going to land in the lap of Laosh, and now this fight is going into the favor very quickly for A7.
It's difficult for him. Obviously, he activated. I think that gave away his position. I think up until that point, I don't think they knew he was there. I think obviously you were cautioned. Would they come up and over like that? No, most probably not. They'd go round. But he would have caused some huge issues. Obviously, they had G-Drox a little bit further down on that road there, so that would have caused some problems for them trying to rotate that way around. But that zone shifted heavy, and that... Oh my days! What a zone shift! It's gone from a military to the North Island. VP, Digger, and Fast are happy. Na'Vi get a blessing after the first fight on that West Bridge, and now they have to move their way back. And TMO, well, they're going for a full send, but everybody's looking to send now back east. FaZe going back the way they come. TMO are there. Who's got the meds? Who could fight across the Crown's Bridge? Because they could put this fully out of service.
Talk about a shift. 90% of the teams in this lobby that are still alive all thought this is going to be a textbook military ending, and PUBG said, you know what, let's add a bit of chaos to this, and we're just going to keep these guys guessing. But it looks like Vazo, he's going to go for a bit of a bridge camp on the rotate in from FaZe. He's taking some shots with the mini. He brings out the AR, activated just a bit too early. Gustav on the other side of the bridge, and now he's going to get absolutely 5-man crashed as Vazo going to try to hold them all off. Nade comes back, bounces off of the pillar, and it's going to be Vazo that gets knocked, and he is going to get a flush, and now that kind of leaves Rat Strutter all alone, as now all he has is Wozex is the last one up onto the top of the mountain, as he's going to watch Eternal Fire rotate on in. Nice AUG shot's going to bring them down to 1, as he's going to try to see if he can't secure the last member. One more bullet, and he is going to get it, as now that is going to be Quetpa, going to be the last member to be knocked, as the Mad just going to have to rotate on out of there.
This car is tanked as well. All the fight that's been happening on that bridge is going to be very dangerous. Need to keep an eye on what's going on. Let's get back into things, though. It's Chris, final player now. Brexco is down, and Footy Sports are looking to try and finish off. They do. Ascend take 14th place. Back on the other side, though, Na'Vi have moved their way back over, taking the bow as Digger, who are here first time over. Looking to try and find the final player for Na'Vi. Hakatori backed right up into that rock. Be very difficult for them to find a nade to pinpoint accurately the nades, and Hakatori is going to have to drop on them. If they try to drop down, the animation is going to kill him. The only way to dig him out is to nade into that gap. They're going to know the terrain. They don't get the first one right, as he got a second. Have a quick look. He only has the molly. He needs to be cautious. I think it's a risk versus reward now. BB, who are in the southeast, now find themselves in the west, or the west side, now coming towards zone. It's going to be a difficult ending for them.
A very difficult ending for a lot of these teams is we got Pixel on the swim in. He's looking to try to see if he can't find a home for his team, as he's trying to make his way into the zone. All these teams sitting outside of the zone, having to rotate, fight the blue, fight the hard shifts coming in. And you know what would be funny? I know it's probably not going to happen, but if the south hard shift comes in, and just like the little peninsula of that beach is in, that would be extremely funny. Nedex with a nice spray onto Corexi. He's going to see if he can't find a second one onto Space Marine. He manages to hit the headshot as the rotate comes through into the compound. It's going to be a bit of a difficult reset for FaZe as Space Marine does go down to the blue zone, and he is not going to get picked up. He's just going to get insta-flushed by Jeems. Jeems is going to, take all of his meds and all of his stuff because he knows FaZe 4 is chunking. Not going to be able to get him in. Gustav getting recrashed by TMO as he manages to put some nice shots out into it. Nedex with a nice little push from the coop. He manages to bring him down to 1 HP. Gustav going to get taken out by Nedex. One member of FaZe left up.
Yeah, it's difficult. This is all chaos as the zone pursues teams back towards the other side. James having a look to see if he gets the crash spots. Nedex, though, now trying to make a move. Has to scrabble his way back. He does get his way back towards safety. The rest of the guys now on the move over. Here comes Justice's nade as he lands the Justice of Doom over. Doesn't quite, but it does open up an opportunity now for James if he wants to get down in the bunker. Scrap that. Abdul comes in late, and FaZe will end down. It's going to be 12th place for them. There's only a few more teams remain. Win or Die and Exhalation Store in that south side of zone. Everyone else has made it back to the north.
Everyone trying to make their rotate on back to the north side of this zone. As now we got Fast rotating straight into BB as they're just going to absolutely rip apart the car of God as God's going to get absolutely knocked. Then Sextono, he's going to be the next person to go down, leaving just one member up of Fast, making a very difficult rotate for them indeed. Just absolutely insane how everything is played out for all of these teams. Everyone thought, like, hey, Millie Circle, we're just going to go get hunkered down, and everyone that got further hunkered into the zone find themselves in an even more difficult spot than the last as a Blue Star. Last member up, he's getting double pushed by a doozy. He finds the spray onto the first. Moloduct makes the spot, and he's going to get taken out very quickly. He was able to find two members of BB down. They're going to get the reset, and they're going to be able to try to play into this northeastern side of the zone towards Snake Split.
Look at the control, though, TMO have now got. They've kind of worked their way, and I want to see what their pins are like, because they've not really drawn a line just yet. They've done their position now towards a strong compound. They're potentially going to have prior. I think they're trying to figure out if it's completely clear. BB team, as I said, from that team from Blessem, the southeast, all the way now towards the west-hand side. Again, I think a lot of teams just will have lackluster of information, right? There's going to be like, hey, it's going to be based upon everyone's sending over. Let's run the logic. There's not a lot of people here. If we get over, let's just try and take things that we wouldn't normally take because they'd normally be taken in the ending that we normally get from here. God, let's be honest. It normally goes Potato Hill. Potato Hill moves towards the south. This is the zone we normally end up. Not a military zone that then hard shifts its way back to the danger zone. Well, danger zone, Pixel has found himself back in with the yellow Power Ranger outfit as he swum his way over. I think he's just trying to figure out where the last player of Navi is. As Hakatori will get the sound cues on him first. Depends on which way Pixel rotates in.
How was Hakatori able to even get up the side of that mountain? That's insane. That's impressive.
They left him. That's the problem. Oh my god. Oh my god. Hakatori's moved. He moved. Pixel's now seen him. Pixel's got 3 nades. I think he's going to med and then launch the nades in. He can't get any reinforcements from the rest of the guys. So it is a 1 versus 1 here. Pixel versus Hakatori. Hakatori doesn't know he's there. Pixel has got 4 more meds. What, did he shimmy his way back over this way to get out of the blue zone? Whatever he does, any kind of quick movement, he's going to be picked up. Surely the play now is nade, med, then try and push in.
Sure, it has to be, because if he starts running, maybe he's trying to wait for Hakatori to do something, or maybe he just doesn't have the information. Hakatori's there like at all, which would be surprising because Hakatori did make a very aggressive movement there. Pixel has, I think, he has no idea that Hakatori is there. Oh, but now he's moving. Wait, he doesn't spot him. He's looking down. No, he spotted him. Okay, never mind. It looked like his player model was looking down towards the ground, but he spots out Hakatori. He can now move up a little bit, try to maybe get into the zone, and maybe find the member of Navi and clear him out. But wherever he does, it's going to be extremely rough for him, to say the least. Hakatori has absolutely no idea. Pixel is right on his tail. Hakatori just absolutely no idea that he has Pixel, and absolutely free pick from Hakatori. He's going to find one, eliminating Navi. Just what a intense little play. Like, nothing was happening, but it was probably like one of the most intense moments so far.
The thing is as well, that information alone has really gone. Oh, TMO have gone completely before I can get over there. How has that happened? Well, GK do get the shots on Pixel, but Digger able to pick apart as well. BB crashed into TMO, completely missed that. Sorry, guys. BB able to outgun the new boys, I can say that on the block. Then we kind of know who they are. VP in a good position as well. They've scrabbled their way back. They seem to have been one of the teams that have not lost as much blood coming back towards that north shift as well. Class, welcome in. He's airbrushing Warhammer. I'm jealous, mate. Send a photo. Do you know what as well? Actually, off stream, Claris showed us like one of his anti-air gun things. Tell me what it is in chat, mate. But kudos, mate. Your painting skills are impressive. Impressive, mate. I can give him that. The detail was insane.
Mad respect for anyone who knows how to paint and paint very well. I think like art forms like that are slowly but surely going out of fashion, going out of style, and there's not many people that still know how to do it. But kudos, that's actually insane. I love seeing a good painting. But we got a bit of a fight coming in. Digga finding the knock and flush onto a doozy, beeping down to just 1 pixel. He's gonna get flushed out by Lexa from GK. I want to say like VP, they have a good control of the northeast side. They can have control of all the dead space. As it's going to be Moloduk, he's going to find the knock onto Nixie, and he's just going to have to fall off. Maybe try to see if he can make a play. Use that as a distraction to try to rotate on out and get out as fast as he can. He could rotate back through the dead space of the zone, get towards that northern side. But it's going to be rough for him to say the least, as he does have Digga sitting right onto the other side of that hill.
Yeah. Yes. Try and get some of this action now. Action do go down. This is now going to be the push coming through. Advance. Until one shot, that nade will bounce in and should finish him. Unless he gets a med off in time. Hasn't been cooked. He does get the med off in time. That carver is about to roll. The flames will go underneath. Able to actually now get the med back on. They do need blue zones. PWD is down. So down towards Spire, I think he's going to go lower down. He has gone lower down, so unable to launch in the remainder. Util they've got VP in control. Monodox, that's aggressive. Digger actually putting more points on pretty much than they've done in the group stages. So good to see them back. I know they did say they had internet connectivity issues on group stages. Hopefully, touch wood, that has all been sorted because they were unable to play one of the final games. Unfortunately, for those who don't know, it is a rule. I don't understand the rule personally, but you have to play as a 4. Even if you only have 3, you're unable to do so. And obviously, as you put someone in, you can't just swap the sub out. You have to play with a 4 that kicked off anyway. But as anything, as we know, things develop, situations come up, and they do adapt. The rule changes. Well, one thing we don't adapt is that at least there's 2 teams in the top 4, and that's Footy Sports and VP as they go back to back now. End circles.
And it looks like VP does have a lot of control here, but they aren't in the zone, and they have FUT, they have Foot that they have to go through, and that's going to be the hardest part of this fight in this exchange, as Tuberculosis is going to get the knock on a rolling like NBA. Back to Bolt is looking like he's going to try to maybe secure a knock before going for the immediate flush. He spots out AC, and he's going to get the first knock. He goes for the second shot on Skur, but it's going to take him about half HP. This will give him the time and space that he needs to get a good reset to get the revive off on to NBA as Spyro. Last member of GK, they had an amazing first game, 15 kills with a placement point. So being able to come here into top 4 with just 1 member, I don't think anyone knows that he's here. He's been playing this very slow and very quietly. He might be able to be a thorn in the side of FUT as no one has any idea. No,
Util don't come in. Luke Rock's right underneath. That's Footy Sports. I can't get the nade through the little window though. He's getting a lot more damage on the outside. Luke Rock's goes down by his own nade. And no Util dump though. I think the Footy Sports guys will now know. What time does Spyro activate? That's my big question. Digger going to try and control here as they all look to conquer as much as the zone. The Footy Sports and VP fight still continues to lay waste. Spyro does get spotted now. Nixie comes on to fruition of where he is. It's surely got to be a Digger. Is it going to be a Digger throw? Initial pushes coming in. Nade's coming over the top. It's down towards head-to-head battles. It's gone from a 4 to a 1 here from VP, and Foot are refusing to fall.
Oh, what a good clutch up by HC here, as now it is just Spyro. All one person he has to worry about here is the last member of GK. Digga looking like they're going to get aggressive into this. They're going to try to see if they can't manage to
surely they're going to win
wipe the last couple of members. They should. They have the space. They have control of the entire zone. They're going to get a reset onto their knocked member to make it a 3v 2v2 at the moment if or sorry, 3v2v1 if they manage to get the res, what they should, considering they have all this space as FUT in the middle of a fight with Spyro. Good nade. He's actually going to kill himself. He's going to take himself out rather than allowing them to get the point. Maybe accidental nade, but now it's Digga with a lot of utility and a lot of zone coverage. It's going to be a very difficult one for FUT to try to fight their way out of.
It is. Now, two of them. Don't fight them out just yet. The high ground has been taken. Digger now going to try and close. Here comes the smoke wall as they look to try and get out of this. Claw their way out from phase number 7. Digger take the high ground. Famus is in hand. Shots will come over. There goes the flash. The high ground will cause the damage, but it's down to 1. Surely it's going to be an end shot. It is, as Digger Esports claim the territory, but more importantly, they will claim the win here. Game number 2 is going to be 11 kills, 22 point for Digger, and not a bad showing. Yeah, you've got a little one on stream. You right for me to show? I've got no problem.
Yeah, you're good.
And we even have a guest, welcoming guest. good scrim, obviously, from the guys. Good to see that VP and Foot remained in the top 4 both times over. But what a crazy zone. I didn't expect it. I don't know about you. A shift from Millie to the north part to the mainland. It's rare. It does happen. But I think that caught out quite a large number of teams.
Oh, 100%. It caught out all of the teams. Like, I think there's only maybe 2 or 3 teams that were still sitting on the northern side of the circle, and I think that was due to slow rotates. I know Fast was sitting on the north side still after a bit of a late rotate from them and taking a loss on the rotate in from BB that was still sitting towards the edge of the zone. But very well played from Digga. They managed to pick up, was it 10 or 11 kills towards the end of that and a first place win. So very good for them. Very good for them.
And they were one of the teams that are coming late to zone, but were blessed with the zone shifting back. And sometimes you see teams like that fall. They kind of don't know how to deal with it. And obviously a load of teams are kind of sending it towards them. But good to see they actually were able to control it. And actually they gained and captured as much of the land mass as they could, as they knew everyone was fighting down the bowl. Let's have a quick break. When we come back, though, it's time to Rondo. We'll see you guys in a few.
Two different levels, I cannot relate. You never win if you playing it safe. It's all a game until you get played. You speaking so loud with nothing to say. I'm betting $8
Ice in my veins, but you know I'm about to warm up. Yeah, it's been a cold, cold summer. Ice in my veins, but you know I'm about to warm up.
Time will only tell. You can try me if you want. Life can get real crazy. You can try me if you want. We gon' find out soon. 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 Look, I'm in a solid state, we ain't got the same drive. I know it's hard for you, these moments make me feel alive. Texas Pete, built different like a G5. If I'm not the one, you better doubt the 99. Let me get back, look, all I do is win. I got dubs in rotation. You see that I can lead, I should send the location. Okay, find me on the hill, yeah, no miseducation. I never lost one, yeah, cut that dedication.
It's been a cold, cold summer. Ice in my veins, but you know I'm about to warm up. Yeah, it's been a cold, cold summer. Ice in my veins, but you know I'm about to warm up.
Time will only tell. You can try me if you want.
Alrighty, welcome everybody into this third game of this Scrims session. Unfortunately, or rather fortunately for me, this will be my last match that I will be casting with you all. Gonna head out with the family, go spend some time. But it was a blast. Thank you for inviting me here, Mark. We do got a bit of a good, some semi-good, favoring more towards that eastern side of the map, going from the north to the south. A lot of teams maybe going to try to find a little last-minute place that they can get to try to loot, as a lot of the western side of the map is not going to be playable. But if a zone goes towards the west, like towards Hongshan, Rinjian, Longho, Yulin, you know that west side of the map towards Fengtun is going to be completely open and free. So it'll be very interesting to see how many of these teams decide to take the far north wrap into the western side, or maybe the far south wrap into the western side. But as we saw that last match, zone could literally go anywhere, literally do anything that it wants. We all thought it was going to be a melee ending. It was not. It said, hot psych, we're going back up to Snake Split. But we do got a bit of a hot drop from two of the teams that made it towards the end, the top 8. We got TMO that finished in 6th place last game, and you got Digga that managed to win the last. Erangel is they're going to do a bit of a hot drop, but it looks like TMO is just going to get the vehicles and get on out.
Oh god, if that was a anything but the sickle at the end, it might have been different. Lucky enough for him, it wasn't. Now it's starting to play a little bit further afield. Zone shifts back. Only lucky enough, it's only a single flight path. I do like going for this top side. Bob Drox can be sharing it. Escalation go early. There's no twisted mines, but Navi go for their normal split store staying on that Linux factory. So again, telling me that that's where they're landing, that's where they're practicing. They could have easily taken test track as well, as we haven't got twisted mines. VP go for slightly normal, now retracting their way back up. Foot normal. Also, really wide split though from Ainty and Pixel. Fast phase go late. Not quite sure. It's very late actually for them. BB normal and A7 not too worried. With an early engagement now, as we have lost one. As looks like it's going to go punch him out, and Basido will claim the victory as Boss will now fall.
Unfortunate for Crossberg, because I wonder what happened to cause that little fight and crash between them, because it looked like he's a bit of a ways away from his teammates on Eternal Fire. So for him to get caught out like that, very questionable to say the least. Looks like we do have a bit of a more northern favored zone. It is going to go west of the flight path. It's going to keep a lot of those western side of the zone that was unreachable due to flight path in. You got stadiums sitting in Jiaoten just on the edge of the zone. Rayan, people, you already know that that the team that landed Rayan is very happy with where they're sitting at right now, but they do need to be careful. They got Ascend sitting right on top of them, and just a lot of teams sitting really, really good for this zone. Actually, I think this zone, I'm gonna call it. I think this zone's gonna end just north of Test Track. I think it's gonna circle up right there in that big dip into the hillside right there where Win or Die looks like they might be fighting into Bushido with Navi rotating into them.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you. Part and parcel with that. It is. It's always Ninox and Test Track, right? That's kind of the go-to. Part and parcel because it's centralized, but I do kind of agree. We've got the water in the middle. We don't need to lose it for the first 3, but we will see it after. Because only got the 1 vest, so he needs to make sure he gets these shots on pretty quickly. You're going to have split out, so definitely not 9 up pixels here. They need to loot. I think he's really worried about that window as well. Here comes the player, goes back out, so he gets an opportunity. Pixel might have been tempted. The question is, did they hear him? Let's reposition. Doesn't look like it. And looks like the guys are now moving a little bit further aside.
He does have a little bit of support coming in from 8Z. He's coming in to try to support his teammate, maybe try to, get an off angle. So if they absolutely have to fight, all 3 of them are going to get, all 4 of them, they're going to get back to their vehicle. They're clown carring on out. 8Z in striking distance, just a little bit far away. Shots coming out, good bit of damage ringing into all of them. They're going to return fire from the vehicle as they're going to rotate out towards the northeastern side of the zone. They're going to get away as 4, and they're going to be able to try to rotate on out. But not if FUT has anything to say about it. You got Skur driving straight into them. And as we have a fight breaking out between Win or Die and Navi, hello, my bad, with some really good shots onto Staid, as he's going to lose his helmet almost and go down to about 9 HP.
Yep, it must have been the shark fin at the top, let's be honest. High ground has been taken by Win or Die. They do retract back slightly. And I think obviously forcing the hand because Bushido moving their way in. Obviously, before Nose kind of intending inside for Win or Die. Bushido a little bit further across towards the west here. Eternal Fire taking the compound. Navi moving their way up, but holding that foothold that we saw so critical when it came down to PEC on Rondo. Navi still remain with 2 in there. Now, not always possible, especially if we have a TM, because they will normally take that a lot quicker than anyone else. Rest of the zone, no. Bamboo. Bamboo's another big hitter for me. Yes, we get Test Tracks, and Bamboo's not too far away. I do see a lot go to Bamboo. Seifu now leaving stadium. He's going to tighten himself up with the rest of Grove Street. And I said before, guys, this is a team. I expected Grove Street to do better in group stages. I said this to Seifu. He's a strong player. If they just weren't firing all cylinders, they didn't quite know exactly what was up. They obviously had to go for a full reset. Sounds like the guys have got a full reset already underway. They were trying things yesterday. If you didn't already, Seifu does do a lot of streaming himself. He streams POV. Doesn't include comms, though. Doesn't give us everything. Teases us slightly. But it is enough, though, as we do get a look into the eyesight, the mindset of what this team's trying to achieve. Are they going to be able to do enough for PC? I don't know. I've not seen enough for me personally. We'll see.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, obviously, Spyro was with... Where was Spyro before this? Where was his home before he managed to find himself with a Grove Street?
Spyro...
was it...
Go on. Do you want me to say, or do you want to guess?
Was it with Twisted Minds? Wasn't he on Twisted?
No, BB then straight after. So BB. And then they kind of swapped up. Okay. So they took Molodoct, and then obviously Molodoct came into here. So Molodoct went to Bet Boom. Spyro then obviously joined up for Geekay. Geekay then obviously put together PWD, Diffix, Quizzy, and Spyro. That is an insane roster, mate. Insane.
It is an insane roster, but I think this is their first event all together, so there might be a bit of team chemistry you got to work on, the micro comms, the micro calls going on, like how each team player plays with one another, like who plays better in a fight on a 2v2 or a crash with each other better, who anchors better and who can give the better supporting information. As Spyro, he's going to find the knock and the immediate flush onto Lithuanian, but it's going to be Blue Star. He's going to try to go protect him. I thought he almost ran him over, but he might be able to get the res here, as now Fast is going to try to go for the spray, but it's going to be Diffix with the knock onto Sextone, and it's going to be Rat Dog Fur. He's going to be the next person to go down. Just Blue Star, the last member up, as he's going to try to see if he can't get the res, reset maybe a little bit, get at least 2 members up, as it looks like this might be the end for Fast, as they just kind of rotated right into the middle of GK.
It is. I can tell you who's good at 3v1 in, and that is Quizzy. Why? Because there's content to come for PEC. For those that might have missed it, Quizzy done 1 versus 1 on all the talent. Me, Martin, and James, and he tucked us in quite nicely. Each time over, not one of us able to get the shot on, but then we kind of play a few more games and watch PEC this weekend and next weekend to watch. You guys have to wait and see. I'm not going to say anything else. What I'm going to say is super funny, and there's a reason why I cast and I don't play at this high level.
Honestly, it's like I love casting, I love playing, but there's a reason why I'm I'm here and I'm not in the group stage final lobby or the LCQ final scrim lobbies, and I'm here casting. So, but GK looking to get a little bit of revenge on a TMO who did find the knock onto Cybersport, and he is going to get him. Abdu going to be going down to the beautiful AUG spray from Diffix, as they're going to try to rotate on through, but he needs to be careful because he has Justice sitting very close to him on the close left side of his rock. It's going to be Sparta, looking like he's going to be able to get the res. He has a bit of a range of hills that he can try to rotate himself through to stick the res. Don't think they're going to be able to force the fight to try to force the flush here. But, oh, Justice is going to get spotted out by Lexa, and it's going to be Spyro that manages to get the final shot onto the knock for Justice as they're rotating on through.
Drive by. Goes wide, unlike me, I'll go straight into the middle of it. Spyro now trying to split the guns of TMO. Justice now down. They do get the res, and he's going to get back in the car. Going to trying to isolate that car and put the tyres down and out. Spyro going to have to go for the reload. Hasn't quite looked back towards the smoke, as Sparta does remain. This could be dangerous over him. If he activates slightly, he might be in the middle. But no, he goes for the car. He's going to go for the stretch as well. He goes for the full send back the way they can. TMO now from a 3 to a 4. As the GK team gets one of the tyres, he has to go for the spin out. And Sparta might have to now take the fight head to head.
Oh, if you're TMO, you know you're not very... You had the information, you know exactly what team this was, and you got the initiating knock, and you try to make something happen off that knock. Just a little bit too slow to make anything happen, as now TMO is going to go from starting this fight to having to leave and back it off as they lost 2 into the middle of this. TMO not in the best spot either. They're going to have to drive a good bit of ways out of the zone to try to get into the next zone, as zone is going to hard shift up to the northern side of this circle.
Let's go north and tech track. So Bamboo might be in play. For esports, in a few shots. I don't know if they know that SoSaid is upstairs. We're going to keep an eye on those rotations just at the moment. Ascend and Bexco, I think he's going to be in a glider. He's above BB. I don't think BB would let him go that close. He's going to be gaining a hell of a lot of information now, as he does kind of provide that UAV. And scrap that. He's now parachuting his way into safety. The VP, now take the compound over there, expecting to shift back towards Bamboo here. No teams on the north side. Everybody stacked up on the south. Ain't see well, he runs all the way out to the top. Does he know that he has a sneaky ranger sharing his building?
I don't think they know. I don't think he has the information that SoSaid is sitting here. Fire is going to go down, though. Fire getting knocked by Win or Die Presenti, as Navi is fighting a different team in the middle of all this. 8C sitting right on top of SoSaid. SoSaid being extremely disciplined, not moving, not queuing up any meds or any boosters whatsoever, as he's trying to... 8C just moving around. He doesn't have any information. Futa thinks that they have this entire northern side of the test track to themselves. Bit of a rotate coming in from GK. As Lexa going to do a bit of gymnastics, they're going to do a bit of a tumble, as now it's going to be Digga to take shots onto Alexa, or to Lexa Cyber, as they are finding the initial knocks. Yeah. They will. And now Digga getting punished for their shots that they took onto GK.
He comes in, doesn't quite get the connection. Smoke wall does happen. So able to try and rotate back, going to get back in the car, reposition. They're in a bad spot here. They had the drop on GK, but unable to capitalize. So they will now spin their way out slightly, but unfortunately, GK seem to be in a roll today. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. 9 points on the board, and GK are rotating as if it's a ranked game.
And they are pubbing right now. They are just absolutely W-king into everyone. Like, anyone that took shots at them or managed to get an initiating knock onto them, they just immediately, doesn't even matter if it's in the middle of their rotate, they just absolutely full send right back into them and go for the trades, the flushes, and the finishes on every single squad that they've ran into so far. 9 kills already, sitting into the ending of Phase 2. They have a lot of space and zone into this southeastern side of the zone, as Na'Vi is sitting from, they got Winter Die sitting closer to their northern edge, and TMO finally try to make their way into the zone. Look like they opted for a hard northeast rotate, and they're going to be taking a bit of a drive, bit of a cross country journey.
Yeah, tails between their legs slightly after taking a few knocks to the team, should we say. Tunnel fire, take out A7. There's 1-2 done for them. Final 2 for them a little bit further afield. The strong shots come through, but nothing really going to come further than that. Zone shifts away. So I said still remains. This fight hasn't fully kicked off. Footy Sports are leaving. FaZe leaving as well. And they just don't know, do they? Just don't know. There's that zone shift. We're wrong. It's not Bamboo. It's not North Track. It goes to TMO. The blessing, maybe. But the teams like Ascend, teams like VP position up, expecting the zone to shift in between these compounds is not going to be the case. They go for a full crash now as VP come rolling in on Grove Street.
Oh, there we go. Sorry, I had to... There we go. All right.
Grove Street. They're
going to get taken out. VP with a very quick fight and a finish onto Grove Street as now everyone's finding themselves rotating in from the south side of the zone. They're pushing into the northern side. A bit of a hard shift. Not where I thought it was going to go. I thought it was going to be a little southern, also towards Bamboo or towards the northern side of Test Track into those hills as it typically always is. So, but TMO finding themselves in a pretty good position. Not the best. They have control of that northern side of the zone. They are across the river, so they do have to find the way to cross on in. And all of these fights from all these teams rotating on in is going to be the deciding factor for where people decide to go. Who gets the information on where is free to play? Phil first looks like he is extremely separated. BB has a massive spread. You got Maladuct and you got Estalok over sitting towards the hard northeast, as well as a doozy sitting over towards the far west side of him. But it looks like they have Ascend in their sights. They're looking to see if they can try to make something happen here as they're watching them try to adjust their cars and maybe try to find another way to rotate into this zone.
It's quite a hard one for me to call who's going to fight first. So I'm trying, obviously, there's only me running around in cameras, guys, so apologies, a little bit jumpy today. I'm just trying to work out who's going to clash in. Obviously, I was watching this sort of southeast corner. GK moved down there. Thought FaZe might cross past them. Obviously, they can't drive too much in there because it's kind of like dry riverbed, so they've gone wide. Installation already there. I'm kind of just going to stay with this side here. We've got Eternal 5 VP, obviously, and Voxtrox all here. That's before we see teams like Ascend. They've got to try and work their way down. That's a huge nade. Lukarak's going to go down to the shots first. And there come in the nades. Got actually a first nade does eventually explode. BB going to try and hold out Ascend. Ascend have to go for a huge rotation. They've got to go back out in the blue and try and work their way around, or they have to really, really fight to take real estate away from BB, but they've got the high grounds.
BB does have a zone priority over them. They can hold them out. They can play very easily, but Virtus Pro going to do the job for BB. They're going to actually crash into their compound, and they're going to just start wiping the floor of Ascend from the fight, and it's going to be Exhalation. Sancho going to find the knock onto Corexi, and now he's turning his attention over to James, as James has a Groza in hand, rotating into the south side of the zone. Nade not going to be able to do much. Corexi going to get flushed out. James with a nice one-tap onto Sancho, as now it is just up to James to try to clutch this up for FaZe. As the flush comes in, nade from Salik coming out. No, he opts to cancel on the nade. Bit of a wide wrap from both teams. Good shots coming in, and James is going to be able to get the res onto Gustav. He's going to rotate down and pick up his knocked teammate.
Yeah, it looks like the guys from TMO, they're pushing their way down quickly as they can. Sneak losing and dropping the ball as James dropped the shoulder underneath the ridgeline. Looking like he might want to try and take the fight. He does, and he gets there, and I don't get there in time. TMO were pushing on the adjacent side. Now, they don't know TMO are here. Exhalation might go for the complete push to try and get the res. That's kind of what you'd expect. Ascend do go down. A7 is going to be the conquerors of that one. It won't be long before they get into kind of sound cues, and actually comes in from the adjacent side. PK taking shots. Nedix does pick up that final player though. Exhalation, we're now losing the water and everyone has to start rotating. I think from the final players from Navi. Oh, he's not. Seems he's already found his way in. Somehow keeping the Pico bus on 4. Goes airborne. Needs to find his way in towards late game.
What a full send rotate from SoSed there. You just absolutely W-keyed straight through the middle of everybody. As now Nedex get found out by Salik. Needek's going to take him down, now leaving just Sparta, the last member up for TMO. Shots coming in from the QBU. He does spot him a little bit underneath the vehicle. 5 HP, one more bullet, one nade will end it all for Exhalation, but that doesn't seem like that's going to be the chance. Like, it's smoking. Like, a couple more rounds into the car, but it is going to be Diffix. He's going to get a nice little high ground spot onto Salik, and Exhalation going to get eliminated in 12th, as now it looks like they might turn their attention over to TMO as they are into their pathing towards the northeastern side of the zone. Nope, TMO's going to back off.
How many meds he's got? He's got 9. What's he doing? Going to med his way out of this? I hate this. I hate that you can survive this long.
He does have a Pico, I guess so. He has a Pico, so he could rotate on in. Yeah. It looks like VP might have the same plan there, but nice little rotate in from Eternal Fire and Bet Boom.
He's right underneath him.
They're all pushing in. Oh, Code Marco not going to know that Moloduk is sitting right above him. Moloduk with a nice...
Repeat.
He could get a nice 6 spray transfer. He does not. But he did. He actually did find the secondary knock, and now it is just up to Quetpa. Nade. Oh my gosh, absolutely beautiful Kobe from Phil first. He's going to find the flushes onto both of them, and they're going to eliminate Eternal Fire. What a Kobe. Just absolutely binked it off the side of that tree.
Yeah, thank you very much, and see you later. He's coming down. VP down to 1, Navi down to 1 now as well. A7, big split on top of the high ground as BB working back. Sorry, no, VP down to a 2, sorry. Scrap that. He does take the Pico. He needs to take his time. It's phase 4. About 10 seconds to go before it hits. It's going to be pretty painful. Sparta also needs to come in. 2 kills for them. Difficult game for them. Very difficult game. Zone shifting back their way, but really not favouring them when it comes down to the kills, especially early game. This is going to now really start to chunk. Phase 5, donuts right up. It's very difficult, actually. This is a low ground train. This is the area I was talking about. This is you can't really get the cars across cleanly. That's why Phase rotated around further. We'll die already on a 2-2 split. They're waiting for the high ground to go. Footy Sports find themselves in a good position, but it's Phase 5 with 10 teams. 27 players remain here for our game number 3 on Rondo.
And I do like what FUT Foot is doing here. They do have a bit of good control. I think they probably should have played the dead space just a little longer until the zone fully finished closing, because you do have Rolling Like NBA looking to try to make his way into the zone from that dead space, and that could absolutely spell danger for Food. But as good as a team Food is, I think even if Roland does manage to get 1 knock, maybe 2, I think he gets traded, but the reset is going to be the difficult part with all these other teams sitting towards the western and eastern side of the zone. GK, I'm going to say GK is looking like the best team to probably come out on top for this game.
I think it'll be difficult. I think, yeah, it's depending on what Foot do. If they're able to pick up the final players, Beanie does come in from behind. So I think Foot will stand in a good stead as well. Or win or die to lay low enough for long enough to survive this one out. BB working the hard way around the zone. They're on 6 kills at the moment. A team that does perform on the wild card map, so definitely one never to drop the ball. I think they like the additional space for rotation. Well, additional space not required with a nade right on top of him. Causes huge amounts of damage here from Phil First. And Metabay comes out to try and take the fight to him, but Phil First has got the better spray. Beryl to use. Bushido taking down in 10th.
Man, what a beautiful nades, beautiful utility from BB. But now they also have a member of Navi coming in from their dead space that they're giving up a little early before the zone finishes fully closing in. So if Saeed manages to get in, he might cause a lot of damage to BB. If Hakatori or who was that on FaZe that was trying to rotate on in?
FaZe.
VP. Roll like NBA. Yeah, VP. If he gets in, he's already in the zone. He's playing that dead space and just waiting. So he hasn't taken any shots yet. He could absolutely spell destruction for FUT, but FUT doesn't look like they're too aware. But zone is closing. He's going to have to run across the street. Obviously, he has to get spotted out, as now it is going to be Sparta. He's going to find the knock onto Vorix. VPX losing 1. Not expecting to lose 1 that way. 2 Rat in the background, but it's going to be Roll Like NBA. Nade going to take Skur down to 1 HP, finding the knock onto 8C. He's going to go for the AUG spray, but now the rest of FUT is going to spot him out. Roll Like NBA does know that he has the other member sitting over. He finds a secondary, but it is going to be Skur. Just as predicted, he was able to find 2, but it's going to be the team to help anchor and to find the last member of Virtus Pro.
I think they'll be able to res here because Win or Die can't get out the trenches. BB there. Steed's still there. Myth does go down. And BB obviously still rotating. Let's go for north, so we're not going towards the dry beds, the river bed at the bottom. And I'm trying to play up. GK blessed with kills and yet again blessed with a zone. something this team, there's some magic behind what PUBG likes to keep giving. And, well, it seems to be kills at the moment. GK have to work their way through. BB guys get the res. They'll be back to a 4. Steve does get his way in. And, well, unfortunately, after losing 1. Good play from IB. Let's not take anything away. They didn't quite get the case. She did lose the player. But the instant 4 process to pop the smoke on the right to deny the other foot players coming in. He's just unfortunate. He didn't quite catch up the nade. That was eventually going to send him away.
And BB Bet Boom does find themselves in a very good position here. They don't have a lot of playable ground in the zone. They have a little bit of a hill that they could play off of. FUT looking like they're going to try to make a play for the other side of these trenches as they're going to take shots from GK. GK holding a lot of ground and space here. Win or die. Obviously, they spot Foot on the rotate in. Bit of a full send from Foot. Don't really having too many options here. Quizzy looking like he's trying to see if he can probably steal a couple of flushes as GK is finding the absolute decimation of Food. They are down to just 1 standing member as now Win or Die is looking to get aggressive here. Bit of util dump coming in as 2 nades are about to get thrown right onto Pixel, who's going for the res onto Tuberculosis, and that's going to find the last member, leaving Food eliminated in 5th.
Yep, 3 Sports playing well there. Nice run in and a really good read from Win or Die. Knowing when to make the push, when to make the play, they had to get rid of him quite quickly. GK in a position of they're trying to be an element of power. BB had to fight a long way through. They fought through the trenches, but now take the higher ground. GK, I think they dropped the ball here, thinking it's still able, still flexible for them to back up to because they have kind of powerhouse their way down. It's a 4 versus 4 versus 3 versus 1. One of the Win or Die guys are BBNO, and best luck will send Navi's new player down and out. See that at 4th place for Navi. Win or Die here. GK still find themselves in top spot. It's a difficult terrain. It's definitely an uphill battle for some of these teams.
Yeah, GK, bit of a misplay there. They gave up the high ground. They knew that they had another team towards their northwestern side of the zone. They knew that they had someone sitting over on top of them. I think a massive misplay from them to leave the high ground and go back to the compound. They lose defix because of that. A very costly decision as now they are a 3 and they don't hold the strongest position in this zone anymore. They've collapsed a lot into this into that compound, and they do have Lexa sitting over here as the anchor trying to hold off Win or Die. He was able to find 1 and get a secondary knock, but not able to secure that knock, so they are going to be able to reset to get their 3rd member back up, and they're going to leave Win or Die to the trenches. It's going to be a very difficult push for them as now BB holds Bet Boom holds a massive amount of this zone. They have all of the space. They have the entire, they have half of the zone to themselves because they gave up that hillside. While that hillside isn't the best playable, I think Win or Die could possibly spot out BB. Bet Boom, I keep calling them BB. Bet Boom, as they are in a bit of a difficult situation. They don't have a lot of playable up on top of this hillside, so they have to be very careful with how they decide to play this, but I think this is shifted from GK's win over towards Bet Boom.
Maybe team, I think, are on the better position and scrapped up. They definitely are, because they're the only team now, lads, that remain in. They held, they stretched, they fought, they took every inch they could away from the teams. Let's see if they can take any more kills. GK, if nothing alone, if it's not a win, it's still a huge kill from these guys. Please note, Scrims are very different to event teams. Will play differently. But just the firepower that this team can provide, learn the rotations that GK are doing, they're happy to take fights. They're comfortable taking fights ahead of time. So they are also happy to take a P90. We're going to dive. I think they're in. I think there is a trench they can get in on. That one there. You actually scrap that. GK already knowing that. They've taken it away from them as they come down low. They're trying to close the door of rotation in. Wouldn't be too surprised to 3 versus 3 to try and take the fight. And then BB team, they're going to have to try and storm over the top. So GK, a risky move, but they put themselves in the middle of 2 powerhouses.
Very risky as they came through, and they took the space from Win or Die, which is good. But if they don't hold this fight, if they don't secure the knocks and secure the flushes, or at least the knocks to keep from them getting pinched, it's going to be very difficult. Leosh, is he not away? Does he have the LOS from GK? Because he kind of just looked like he just rotated straight into him, just without any. No, okay, he does have
got
LOS
one more
from
trench.
him.
He's looking.
As Quizzy, yep. Spray coming in from Leosh, not able to make it secure, but Spyro absolutely bends Leosh as Quizzy is going to go down to the exploding vehicle.
Yeah, the car.
I didn't even realize they were. I didn't realize they were shooting the vehicle. But nades coming in, look like they're going to try to secure. They think that Quizzy is a little bit further to the left. blooming smokes is going to get blue zoned as Quizzy's going to have to rotate out. Presenti going to go down for Win or Die. Win or Die down to just one member. Nades, good distraction smoke from GK as they are assuming that they are in that smoke, but they are not now. Spyro looking to try to rotate in, leaving just Lexa, the last member up. He has an MP5, and it's going to be a rough one for him to try to pull this back as Bet Boom just holding massive space on this zone.
I'll be so surprised if they're able to get that res on. Presenti does get one, then two. Molly in play. It's a 4 versus 2. Uphill versus downhill. Zone versus no zone. There's Bet Boom looking to close the gap. Hello My Bad does get one. Melodot on one side. Best got the headshots potentially in the middle, but not just now. 13 kills. Bet Boom said to have come through the trenches to take the high ground. Will they be kings of the castle or win or die? Take the win at when it needs the most. Well, they're running out of zone here. They have to push forward. Do they have the time to do it? They don't. They've got no helmet. Vest is pretty much gone. Hello My Bad's in not a bad spot as they do scrabble forward to the next zone, but it has been picked up. And BB team, well, looking to close this one out.
And I think it's going to be a very swift closeout as Win or Die doesn't have much utility left in the form of a smoke, so they can't create soft cover. They have a little bit of the zone, a little bit of the layout of the land to try to play off of. They got a couple of dips. They got a couple of little trenches that they can play. They're trying to close it out with a deployable cover coming in. Will it squash any one of the members of Win or Die? Would be funny to watch. Don't think it will, though, as the Doritos come flying in.
I've seen it. It's happened. I do like the play. It's 1 in a million. We did see it as they were pushing forward and they got to a corner. They threw a flare out, hit the corner, rolled onto a player and completely flattened them. I mean, they're just trying to figure out exactly where they are now, and then they're going to hit the util dump dive. 4 versus 2. As, they've been able to get the helmet. There's a Helmet Bad's helmet. Presenti does get a helmet back as well. So 6 kills. Now sees 1, but more importantly, Best also sees Win or Die. They know roughly where they are in the trench. They've got the util to close this one out as well. I should say that. They've only got 1 nade, actually. Look at the molly dump. They could set that riverbed on fire.
And Win or Die doing a very good job at delaying this, but the inevitability is coming in. It's going to be over here pretty quickly as the dot comes into play. Obviously, Bet Boom holding the dot for themselves as Win or Die continuing to have to do a physical and metaphorical uphill battle to try to take the fight to Bet Boom. Utility not looking so hot. They have the meds, Win or Die. They have the armor. But they have the skill to hit the shots that they need to get 1, maybe 2 knocks to try to pick a side to try to fight together. Hello My Bad going for a very sneaky snake wrap to the hard west. Zone closing in, so he's going to have to make something happen fairly quickly here as that phase 9 is absolutely no joke. You will chunk out in about 3 hits and just absolutely get melted. Doozy, be very careful.
He's got away with it.
Hello My Bad. He doesn't know. They don't know. They're sitting on the opposite side of the car.
Spray
comes in from Hello My Bad. He's able to. He finds 1, but it's going to be the side shots coming from Bessalok. Shots are coming into play as Hello My Bad going to have to try to back off to reset. Presenti needs to find a secondary knock here for Hello so he can continue to aggress onto a Doozy, but it's going to be Hello. He's going to go down to the blue as it closes on top of him, leaving Presenti just in a 1v3. Headshot coming on Molodok. He is not going to find the secondary, and it is going to be Phil first. He is going to find the last member of Win or Die, eliminating them in 2nd place. Win to Bet Boom.
GG's. That was a good game. Bet Boom do get the kills. That's, again, a highly aggressive game. Lots of fighting, lots of impact from the teams. BB had to claw their way in, wasn't quite in zone. They had to fight the whole way through in the west. But I like it. When we got to that point just above Bamboo, BB held the high ground. They weren't just all bunched up on the edge. They pushed forward and they were taking fights north and south of it. Obviously, they got a bit of blessing. The zone shifted. But because they had the high ground, they could control the teams further down the hill and sort of push in. On the other side of things, GK, they swarmed in from the southeast corner. They took every fight they could find. Different styles, huge amounts of damage for them, but BB eventually getting the kill. So very 2 different styles of game plan. Really nice to see. But hyper aggressive. I feel like that actually shadows out Win or Die 2nd place. As they kind of, once the zone shifted, it was a bit of a full center zone. They kind of relied on staying in the riverbed, right?
Yeah, they definitely relied on teams not overextending to shoot them as they kind of just lived inside of those little trenches. GK, absolutely, as you said, hyper aggressive, pushing into all these different teams, taking all the fights that they possibly can. But I will say Bet Boom's biggest blessing was GK giving up that northern side, the top of the hill control of the zone that they had above that compound. Giving that up just led the way for Bet Boom to position themselves into a great spot to just absolutely melt the rest of the lobby, sitting onto the southern side of the zone underneath them at the bottom of the hill. So, but very good showing from both teams. Massive kill points, massive finishes for all of them.
Yeah. And if you haven't already, give this man a follow. He's got to go. He's got some family stuff to do. Pleasure jumping in. He's on the NA side of things as well again. So follow up. As always, thank you very much for jumping in. We're going to hit for a break. When we come back, it's time to Tego before we move into the sandy dunes of Miramar. See you guys in a few.
Always first at the finish line. First to the plate when it's dinner time. First to escape when this shit goes down and these motherfucking clouds finna finish mine. Flow too real, hit 'em with a rhythm rhyme. 10 songs, this is cold in the winter time. I'm a boss, yeah, you know, then I'm finna shine. Always first at the finish line. At the finish line. Always first at the finish line. At the finish line. First to the plate. Finish line. First to the plate when it's dinner time. First to escape when this shit goes. To the finish line.
Here we go. It's map number 4. Apologies, guys. This my penultimate game, actually. I'm only going to be able to do this one and the next one. I think I picked the misses up. Oh, she's going to tell me off. I'm already late. I need to see at least one mirror. I'm sorry. But we do miss the chaos that is game 6. But it doesn't really matter. I know it's a bit of a chaos, but for the reasons why I'm casting, the notes I'll be taking, I can avoid the chaos. It has been a bit chaotic at some times as well. Some people obviously getting a lot of freedom and movement compared to others. But it is what it is. Flight path though from this is the southeast up towards a northwest. So yeah, apologies, I'll be doing 5 hours 6 today. And Hassan, thank you very much for jumping in, brother. Have a good time with the family. Let's just see. It's time to Tego. Phase normal drop, BB normal drop as well. VP the same. Sengo late. Navi going normal as well. Clarify the same. No change just there. Is that TMO contesting slightly? Bob Truck's obviously giving a beat away. I've landed. Let's wait for the zone to go. 5 seconds before we see it pop. I do like Tego. River's obviously a problem. Reason being, just because of a zone like that. Expected to come back or play back as well. At least in a way, especially towards 30 sports. They're on the normal drop zone at the moment. I've been quiet a few times. I'll be already rotating past. Can you try and new style of rotation? Not going to get caught and actually going to get past 30 esports. They're going aggressive early? Surely not. So will position himself in a very dangerous area. Here, no footy sports are here. So let's actually have a look, because in the compound you can see from their pings, I know someone is on number 1. So they're pinged up. Looks like there's going to be a control or a box for this area. So it has seen number 4. So we've seen code Marco there. I don't believe if I do the same for. They have obviously put kind of a split on, but I don't think that's anything to do with knowing Navi's there. I actually expect Ainsley now to sort of push back that way into that sort of danger spot. Be dangerous for him. Might be losing quite early on. I do worry, because you'd look at this and go, maybe do our bridge camp, maybe not. So it is looking back this way. He might get a blessing that Footy Sports look to push further in towards zone. Looks like that is the case, that you can see him sort of snake lining up towards that sort of military base, the army base. Send all the army base to play it, and which we know they play well from. They're looking for the zone to shift back their way again multiple times and then pushing up that hill. As you see, they might be going for an early rotation towards the high grounds. E-pickups I think going to be key. Bridges are going to be also really critical for some of these teams as they get across. VP have already moved their way over. Nice ridge here that you can kind of dodge the team that is in Palace. Sometimes you see the teams push out to sort these compounds so you can catch him here. Lukacs does find his way around. You will hear the car rotating beside him. You now fully move over. Footy Sports now moving further up. They should hear this car's coming over. And Exhalation got to get freedom to move all the way towards the high grounds. No emergency pickups just yet. TMO in a huge split. I think that's part and parcel with the drop that we saw from Voptrox, and they took the car away from him. Again, wouldn't be too surprised to see TMO if I have a little look at them. Yeah, look, maybe you can see they're going for number 1 here. Justice looking to kind of indicate up towards Shipyard and maybe move over from there. Oh, Eternal Fire. About to clash heads here from VP. Oh, he's actually jumped back. And Marco does catch him. And Flugrux goes over. VP, well, they lose 1. Not on the quick enough on the rotation. So it is a prime spot now for teams to catch the jump across. Pixel position now, waiting for 87. 87 now climbing the hills towards him. Be looking back this way. Try and catch up with a bit of chat. Or do I come back in last chance for Eternal Fire? Maybe. Eternal Fire always seem to find their way through. Yeah, I've not seen Don't Panic in Scrims, mate. I'm honest with you. What the hell's going on with my mouse? Why can't I rotate it? Okay, hold on. Let me click. Why? I change player. Yeah. Good. Now we're back. Ready with A7 knocked. Can't really get through the canopy. Let's stay low. Let's try and get the res. Food Sports then position their way through. Pixel taking a kind of 1-1 here. Ain't he going to try and cook the nade to deliver it through the middle? I think it is going to get caught up. He's actually back away towards it. To get the res. Now going full send. Ain't will be trying to look for the shots above the smoke, but not going to do it. The hillside, the hill terrain was going to help him out. Food Sports able to try and hold as they will now play back. GK work their way across here. BP scouting their way around. And might even catch it. Ferris, Nixie sees one, will make the call. They're going to go for the shots. Not Na'Vi diverted back. EK under pressure from Na'Vi themselves. Looking to try and close the gap themselves in towards this location. Spyro ditches the car, now moving his way back down. POD crawling his way back towards the car. So cover will happen from the other side. Alright. In the smoke. Might be a bit more of a bait smoke than anything. Can't really see it being picked up. I think this is the more control was coming from Quizzy and Diffix here. We got real good, a clear line of sight over the top. A few shots, Diffix towards Soset. No connection just yet. Did you come in late? Here comes that E pick here. Shido, only one on the E pickup. They do rotate past. Looking towards going to that military base. I'm pretty sure they've got the ping on them now. They know they're there. Payne's right beneath him. I mean, he looked fully up here. Navi, let's get back to this fight here. Navi versus Geekay. Spyro's back up. Need the new boy looking to provide position here. PWD right underneath him, looking towards his way. Had him queued up. Can't get away with that. PWD got the sound cues. There goes a knock. Spyro. PWD can now start to move if they want to start moving towards the res here, which I think is the wrong play. PWD again will activate. Hands from the back. That'll be game style. He's now moved, so he's definitely giving away position now. So as I said, does pick up PWD. Right, zone is going to shift back. The question is, how much of this high side does it take and remain? Normally that river on the south, we see it play back there quite a few times, so we expect it to sort of push back. Back in the way, Gustav has been picked up here. James has to try and work his way around. Get a knock, though. They do get Sparta. Justice, though, on the anchor. Doesn't get caught by James. He's trying to go for that swing around the other side. They are working their way through. Quexy looking to do the damage. Nade comes out. They headbutt it away. They jump over the top, though. Nidix is there, not just for one, but two. Looking now sees Fex. Free fire to the top. No connection. They actually line up for him. He goes down. Abdul's on the adjacent side with a nade in hand. Nade comes out, but no connection as he doesn't get the splash damage needed. Just a bit further afield. James backs up. They're looking for the crossfire now. FaZe down for two. TMO down for two as well. Make that one. They are well afield now. Sparta confirmed out. Abdul confirmed out. Nidix will be confirmed out. And Justice wasn't close enough to provide the justice that was required. Now, why not Twisted? Don't know. I don't know. They're in. They don't need the scrim, really. They may have a week off. They are secure to the finals. They might just be sitting there watching, waiting, listening. Where are you going? I thought he was actually out on a boat. Load of information gained. There goes the shift back. It does play back towards the water in the end. Because he's down and out. as Diffix. Work position. Forest will be saying sound cues that he's moved further afield. Come for the res, maybe rotate his way around. Does move back now. Gets to confirm. They have got him split. This is quite dangerous, actually. The key gate. They are looking to isolate. Akatoa moving back. Won't be too surprised for him to sort of put up at the rocks and try and take the fight. Sparrow's on one side, the other's a little bit further in. And actually been cleared out. Diffix has to go. Pop Chocks work their way in. VP now versus Footy Sports. Cleared to the final. I'll let you know in chat. Do you know what our team has been scrimming every single day? And that is BB team. They have scrimmed every single day so far. Which is insane. It'd be reload the gun. You need the gun to be reloaded to shoot the pack pew bullets. It'd be reload. It'd be reload. It'd be you still need to reload. Maybe it's a pure sound cue. It'd be you need to reload. It'd be you still need to reload. It'd be you need to reload still. Don't need to reload this gun. But this gun you need to reload. Nope, still need to reload. Maybe it's a spectator's blip. Car. It's the right gun for the pew bullets. Now moving back. Gets back to his car. It does reload this gun. It's got 97/2. There we go. There goes the pew bullets. Right, Godoc, fast and digger in. Again, Godoc holds on for a period of time. We see it shift away. Water in the bottom on the southeast corner is definitely one that I keep an eye on at the moment. Does like to play just on the outside. Godoc think BB in a prime position to try and take the win. FaZe are just doing FaZe are doing send things on the north here. James working his way down. And FaZe in the final VP there as well. Loads there. I bet just a much smaller, but made it a little break. A little chill out. Free Sports losing one. I think going for the E pick. Maybe. Might be a bait pick. Diffix is. Have a look at it. VP actually see him. Oh, one more connection maybe. Oh, lucky. Akatoa does get him. Diffix goes down as he tries to draw blood on the Na'Vi yellow. Now time to go. There goes that zone shift. It does just sit on the outside. Godoc. This is kind of normal. This is the outside. People go to Godoc thinking, yeah, it's good. We're safe. No problemo. Always sent it out. Always. I'm not so far. Touch wood. Never had a Godoc ending myself. Just yet. The guy just on the outside here. Face number 3. Waiting for cars to move on down. I wonder if they've seen them. They have seen the car, so they have pinged it. I'm looking to try and hold this sort of north side. No need for them to move down. A lot of the action is further in field here. 15 teams, 54 players. Phase number 3. The missus is hounding me at the moment. Might not even make the Miramar game. Just ignoring her. It's not going to be long before she gets into chat. FaZe picked him up, I reckon so. Yeah, they have. Look at that. You know, Hawkeyes. And OSN's lurking in the realms. VP do get Bushido. It's a fight. Let's get towards this at the moment. No one goes down. Most of Bushido further afield, a little bit towards the north here. Exhalation now tagging behind. That's picked up, so it does get beamy down. See, Confirmed dump. PUBG's now getting involved. Picking up Ibby. On the other side, they are closer. Tree line is horrible here. Why are they allowed to play? What do you mean? Something isn't right. Maybe something isn't right. Maybe I'm missing. Team fast ladies and gentlemen. What are you sending me? Yeah, let's leave all of that to another day. PUBG move on in. Beamy's the final player. We're going to try and hold out. Scrap that. Beamy's now going to go at Exhalation. Unfortunately, they find himself in the middle. Navi is also a low down. It won't take long before being found out. It's going to be caught. Monodox actually does catch him. Monodox doing a lot of damage. Put Monodox on the other side. Zone's going to shift away. I think it does move its way out. And actually, let's get towards the fight. We was expecting to happen a bit quicker. FaZe crashing in on Ascend. Pains is up. His Chris is down. Mexico is in the blue. It's just him and Pains now. Unfortunately, getting caught on the top. Pains backstabbed here from Bushido as they come towards this north side. FaZe number 4 has moved further down, way down. Definitely looks like our BB team position themselves right in the middle of the zone. Might not be a high kill game for them, but they will be able to try and hold out. Crexy launching nades over top. Rex has to tuck his way back in. 2 kills for Ascend. Pains anyone to get the kills here. Fex moving up on that high ground. Rex makes the move first. Has seen Crexy now. Crexy has seen him. Expect now Fex to move over the top. Let's go back. I couldn't even get back. Couldn't even click the button in time. Someone decided to fire the gun. FaZe lose 2. They do take out Ascend, and they're going to now move their way in. Bushido have come played onto that as well. Twisted Minds. No, on Twisted Minds. Sorry, guys. They are chilling out, not practicing, not quite sure. That's all they do know. But as you guys do say, actually, they've probably got more established. I agree. Fast. Set on the outside edge, Exhalation the same. Eternal Fire don't need to move just yet. Foos falls down to the final player. A7 have to move their way in. Bushido potentially have to move their way through the win or die team. Something's not right. You can leave all of those accusations not in this chat, mate. Reddit, Discord, you name it, you send it. Not here, mate. You have a safe place. It's not my job, decision, and more importantly, I don't know best. I don't know how it works. So yeah, just leave that all for the Reddits and stuff, guys. If you've got evidence, load it on there. I'm sure someone will comment. Just not here, please. FaZe going to have to move in. 7 kills now for FaZe. Difficult circle for them to push in on, but they have found their way in. They should know that there is a team right next to him. Jedox does finish off 1. And correctly, does see win or die. He's able to sneak underneath the ridge line. Doozy does get Blue Star in the distance. That team obviously moving their in, but BB finding themselves right in, as I said, the heart of the zone so far. No way does Crexy get away with running underneath them. He's only got 1 med, so he can't stop. That's why he's not playing sneaky, guys. But does he actually get away with the sound cue? That would be insane. Shots, though. They are still on the outside. Crexy look left. Crexy looks left. He scores for 1. Looking for the second out. And then, unfortunately, Leosto use that Famis, able to pick him up and move him in towards zone. Zone shifts its way back. FaZe Clan will go down. And there's that final circle starting to show. Fast on the outside edge. Win or die, able to control. 4 kills on the board for them. Mortarfire coming in from a doozy. I think he'll be looking for some more shells. He hasn't got it at the moment, but Hello My Bad knows exactly where that landed. Saw exactly in the kill feed where the damage has been hit. Doozy might be praying for some more Mortarfire. Hello My Bad's got Mortarfire himself. Nade will go down into the middle. Get some shots on 1. Double! Triple! Axie will go down, and Fast will deal with the mortar damage from Head of My Bad and send him on his way. It's going to get cleaned out. Oh, Diggers go for the steal. You cheeky little devils. Unfortunately, now Fast down to 1. Head of My Bad looked pretty strong on that one. Great nade. 3 for the price of 1. Street moving their way, and Rat Hunter does pick up the Mad. Doesn't feel like we already have some bodies in situ. Oh my days. He just rolled into that. Sees for a second, doesn't quite get the connection. The worldie of the shot. Now we might try and push forward. Full send now. Underneath. Using the ridgeline. Fasters go down. Coruscant does find him. Nade will be cooked. Let's get the res back on. Looking for that re-knock from the nade. That should get the re-knock. Does get the re-knock. Eternal Fire down to Kubeka. Final player for him now. And another nade ending. Grove Street maybe get into the groove of this game. For now, let's see what they can do. Voptrox losing bodies now. Grove Street making their way around. Foot Esports, though, down to their final player. Sees one. He's got to stay ahead of this one, though. Sneaky, sneaky. Have to get a med on at least. Let me just get rid of some of these graphics. You just see 300 meters of, and he needs to use the tree for cover, hoping they don't turn. Double tree, double block. If he move further afield, just literally following the guys in. At the point where he taps him on the shoulder and goes, "Hello." Now it's Seifu, depressed. Seifu's auto count. Closest down to the danger. Esports going to use the sound of the blue to try and mirror anything he can. Let's stay out this blue as long as he can as well. As long as they keep moving, does give an opportunity to come in. So he does get Voptrox. That's a confirm there. It's going to draw the attention now of Grove Street towards the north. Does he get an opportunity to get some more meds? And maybe for a jammer pack, anything he can. 63 over 2 is not good. But he has found zone. I'll give him that. And now comes the push. Grove Street over the top. Voptrox will fall. Now going to be down to Exhalation to try and draw back. Try and push back this team from Grove Street moving on forward. Esports still moving forward. Colossus. He's just going to hear an MK. He's only got a 63 over 2, guys. So once he gets the spray, he's got another 2 clips. Or he's going to have to literally swap it over. Nate. It's not going to be not bad. It's going to be bounced down. Do they think it's one? Santa gets caught. Oh my god, he turns. How does he turn? 1 HP. A Rat Hunter finds the rat in Foot Esports. How? How? Outside in the blue. Here's number 6. MK! No, doesn't quite get it. Turtle. Forcing the damage. 4 kills on the board. Hit Exhalation. Have enough to fight for zone. They're now finding themselves in the sandwich. Though is one will die making the push forward. Grove Street kind of annihilated onto one side. They're going to try and finish them off. Get the confirms. Vazu will go down. The nade will go forward. He has to go underneath it though. Turtle going to try and make a Turtle's play towards the rat. He's about to show his head over the top. Here comes another nade over the top. Now catches him. Does get him. Grove Street will fall. 5th place for them. Top 4 teams now remain. As we will work our way into the final zone. BBT activating, leaving the safety of the compound now. They are starting to sweep the outside edge. 3 kills on the board. The Dragunov hits good. Doesn't quite get the confirmation. Phil first looking for the final shot. Doesn't quite get it as he does. Able to duck down low, but the nade will come through. That might be good enough. If the huge arc comes over, doesn't quite get the rainbow effect that's needed. Exhalation down to 2. The 7 kills on. Make that 1. 1 is DBNO. 1 is up and fighting. Will or die. Applying the pressure. Digger Esports though do find themselves in the top position as well. It's still 4 versus 4 versus 4 versus 1. Good shots though. Scrap that one. Knocks. He comes through field first on the other side. Puts him down to 1. But he's going to fall. Exhalation will go 4th place. Digger got full control of the zone really. Might see them now try and close this one down. It feels like everyone is sweeping the edge. Presented. No vest into hand. As now we'll move forward. Esports still pushing their way down. Phase number 6 underway. A lot of teams will fall. 4 versus 4 versus 3. Who first gets Jedrox down, confirmed that. So it's a 4 versus 3 versus 3. Digger Esports will be the ones with the numbers at the end. Win or die needs to potentially push their way forward using the rockets cover. They're going to try and block them out and stay right underneath this one, but BB team causing them problems. He goes over, causes damage. Needs to coming back. They are flying past. Okay, does get presented. Will or die are on fire. And my bad's the final player. Here comes the flash. Potentially push over the top. He's in the smoke. He will be alright for this at the moment. My bad's just going to try and lay underneath. Digger got the numbers and now they've got the zone. BB have pushed all the way out. 9 kills here from win or die. And for an additional one. They've got placement pushment to go on top of this as well. So we'll continue. That will make them fall. There you go, Rob. Good zone placement. Let's try and catch the other side. Nice. 4 versus 3. You've got to count on the doozy. I need to put a shift in here. I don't think I have no idea. Got no heavy util. Can't follow up. Just got to deal the damage from the field. Now for the rest of the guys need to work their way in. Best finds himself a little bit further. Feels right underneath. Now he's getting still doesn't have any heavy util. As more util dump comes through. That's going to be a blue zone now. Digger's not really had to do too much though. The comms should be coming through that he's wrapping around the other side though. Best can see. Can he help? I don't think he can. He's having to go lay down. 37 over 2. Scrap that. 37 in the bin. Best of luck. Needs to now try and defend. Unable to shift the Digger Esports push. They need to try and isolate. It's not got the ammo. They've been stuck in the compound. They've called the zone for a while. They go big swinging. It's a winner chicken dinner. Digger Esports getting 2 underneath their belt. It's 7 kills, 17-point game. And that's a big old GG's. But unfortunately for me, it's some sad news, people. It's some sad news. I have to drop out. I do have to go get the message. I am being summoned. That was really good. I'm guessing I'm going to miss out Miramar. I do want to continue to make notes of Miramar. So thank you very much. I'm going to go raid. Hopefully one of the players are casting it or streaming it. I'm not casting it. They are streaming their own POV. So I'll get a POV, hopefully, for Miramar. Continue to watch that one. Thank you very much. That has everyone jumped in. Unfortunately, I don't have time to be back on tomorrow and Friday. And then we're back. Last chance qualifiers, though, for PEC. I'll be back on the desk with a full stacked lineup and the pros, the analyst, host, and all the rest. So really excited to see that one. And as I said, it's the last chance for these teams. We will only be taking the final for you through to go meet at the grand finals. 8 went through. We are going to say goodbye, unfortunately, to another 8, and we'll make up our top 16, which we'll fight our way out, though, for not just the prize pool money of 50,000 USD, but also the PGC points. And more importantly, those top spots will be going towards the LAN. Only 2 global partner teams, the rest are regional partners, but they are not secured seats towards the PGS. It's all to play for. Again, thank you very much, everyone that's jumped in. Thank you for the love, support. You don't have to, obviously, thank you for your casting. I always will come and try and do these when I can, guys. Just try and get back from work and juggling things and everything else that's in the mix. So, again, apologies that I'm not going to be able to cover the Miramars. It has been fun. I'll see all you guys later. Peace.
Two different levels, I can never relate.